Got it.
Welcome to a very not-so-special holiday edition of Beerfield. I am your host, Chris Hopper, as always, joined by Ryan Miner and the commish himself.
Oh, you got to boo him like he's Goodell.
I didn't hear a drop.
Oh.
Same
my bad.
days.
That completely killed the joke I just made, too. That, damn it. Hold on. We're going to restart. I'm not going to restart anything else other than just saying we're going to restart, though, okay? We're going to restart because that was
Restart it.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. Except I'm not really restarting the recording or the live stream. I'm just saying I'm going to restart, and that's what we're going to do.
That's what makes this fun.
Do you hear it now? Welcome to a not-so-special holiday edition of Beerfield. I am your host, Chris Hopper, as always, joined by Ryan Miner and the commissioner himself.
Oh, you got to boo him like he's Goodell. Oh, you got to boo him like he's Goodell.
Yeah, gotta boo him like he's Goodell.
Boo! How fucking old is that? I didn't know you got Nick on the show. That's impressive.
Yeah, we're joined by...
And I am at Nick Sparts.
I forgot you fucking made those shots. Oh, that is a callback if I've ever seen one. Oh, I shouldn't have brought that.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
Huh?
Nothing.
Okay.
No, we're good.
We're good. All right, we're apparently good. We got semifinals week preview, week 16. We'll be going over some of that, discussing some of our Christmas wishes for the NFL and the rest of the NFL season, or holiday wishes, whatever you celebrate, or don't. However you do things, respect anyway. What's up, Bama? Ryan, you haven't said anything in this intro. I just feel like it needs more of your voice.
Hello. We are brought to you by the FF Faceoff.
Yeah,
You can
FF
follow us
Faceoff.
up
Presented by FFFaceoff.com.
Right.
Ryan writes a lot of content.
Ryan will make sure that you never forget that this is the FFA, that we're sponsored by the FFA.
And a lot of other people also write a lot of content there. Hope to ramp some up. Maybe even myself here in the rookie part of this. Started putting together my my vetting spreadsheet, which is the first step in my rookie process, getting a list of everybody together that I need to pay attention to, that we need to take a look at as they declare, et cetera, et cetera. So that is,
Yeah, a lot of the guys over there are freaking
knocking
knocking it out. A lot of guys are knocking it out over there. Dude, they have over 30, 40 rookie profiles already out.
Nice.
We even had to pull some down because of those players who've gone back for 2023. So
That's why I don't start until late, because that is a never-ending fear of mine, is that I'm going to work up a player and get to the end of it, and then they don't declare, and I just wasted, 2 to 3 hours of my life.
yeah, 'cause I did the same thing.
Why did this happen to me?
It's like I go to claim them. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna wait until they say like it's done. You have to either declare or you're going back.
Yep. Absolutely. A lot of guys I've never heard of, a lot of small school guys declaring, so that's fun.
A lot of surprises going back. I mean, I was even surprised to see Bo Nix go back.
I'm not. That dude needs as much time in college as he can possibly get, just to become
more year.
just to become a day 2 pick in the NFL.
An 8th or 9th year.
It's like, who's the other guy that's like that? There's another guy, the guy from Georgia. Isn't he like an 8th or 9th guy?
Stetson Bennett.
Bennett.
yeah.
I know JT Daniels is. JT Daniels has
motherfuckers
been
been there
in the league
forever.
since I was a child.
That's the good old COVID years, man. They fuck with everything.
They do fuck with everything. You guys are like, how did he have 3 freshman seasons? And then we became a junior. We just skipped right over sophomore. I have no idea how any of this works. Anyway.
Red shirt. Oh, we got a trade question. from longtime listener Bama.
Sweet.
Yeah, he just made a trade. He wants to hear our thoughts on it. This is a 10-team, 6-man keeper league. So you're keeping a large amount of
portion,
players.
yeah.
60 players are kept every year at max. So you just lost in the first round. He traded Henry for Swift and a contender second. So Henry for Swift in the second. Traded Henry for Swift and a contender second.
So first off with the format of this, I would treat it more like Dynasty than not, especially with these higher end picks. And I do like the idea of getting away from Henry. With Swift, we haven't talked a lot about dynasty value as we've worked through the year. And I think that's kind of what you're playing with here. I think that's how you evaluate this. And I do think that his dynasty value is taking a hit, but he is still younger. There is still a good amount of upside there. You have health questions. I think it's safe to say that, Swift and staying healthy are not things that can be said in the same sentence at this point. I don't know what Jamal Williams' contract situation is. You get the second round pick out of it too, which means that, you are going to get an extra pick in some of what should be a shallow pool of available players.
Yep.
I like the move. I think that you get a flyer, in worst case scenario, you're going to get the opportunity to have an extra first crack at what will be a shallow pool of available players to draft.
Slam dunk trade.
Especially
Exactly.
Especially with Henry fading down the stretch a little bit.
Yeah, this is a slam dunk trade. And you get a
Plus
second on
Swift.
top.
Plus, Swift this will be the final year with Jamal Williams right now too, because I think he only signed a 2-year contract with the Lions, so it could be Swift's backfield. Plus, it's going to be someone else back there, but
Yeah,
I mean, they can afford to keep. I mean, it depends. It depends if they want to go quarterback and try to reap the benefits of a rookie contract. Goff's contract. I don't have it pulled up. So
Swift, I
I think it's 20-some million.
So Williams is on a 2-year deal. He is a free agent after this season. Jared Goff, hold on. They have an out on Goff after this season with $10 million in dead cap if they wanted to cut him. Otherwise, you got 2 more years of Goff, and the way that he's played, I don't know that you feel like you have to cut him with a cap hit that's only $25 million, right? I mean, that's not bad in the world of quarterback salaries for somebody that's shown down the stretch that they can be confident and get the ball downfield. That's not a bad deal at all at $25 million.
No.
Well, there are talks of. I mean, there has been rumblings that they may want to commit to him long term. Right? They're gonna have a top 10 pick from the Rams. More than likely, they're gonna have a top.
Actually, top 5 now.
Yeah, top 5. It'll finish between top 5, top 10. Maybe it does get lower depending on what teams make runs at the end of the season. Plus, you get the choice pick, which is aiming to be, top 20, maybe more if they make us, if they make some noise in the playoffs. So they could go in with Goff, who's shown to be a above average quarterback when you have enough pieces in place, enough important pieces in place to make him a viable option back there, right? He's a part of that Kirk Cousins mold where, you can get viable, like he can be worthwhile in that spot if you want to continue to build around him. They're in the prime position to take an elite quarterback prospect. Like it just feels it'd be a waste. And after a year, then you cut Goff and hopefully the guy you drafted hits, but
I don't think it'd be a waste because I think the way the Lions should go would be defense because that's their biggest struggle.
I agree.
And it's looking better. But if Will Anderson's there for them, I mean, that's an obvious take.
Yeah, because, defenses win you and get you to the playoffs consistently over a year when you have a chance at a top 5 pick. Yeah, these guys aren't guaranteed, but none of these prospects are ever guaranteed. So you get a chance at a quarterback prospect and you don't really have a young guy who's on that rookie contract. We've seen it's been now shown multiple times the importance of having a rookie contract on your quarterback.
And again, they do have an out on Goff after this year, but I don't know that that's the route that you want to go with the value that he's shown. I don't think that he's on an affordable deal. That's a trade piece if you go the quarterback route. That's not.
I'm not saying get rid of him after you draft one. I'm just saying just thinking out loud with it, and why Jamal Williams will probably be cut, but he could be kept if they decide.
Jamal Williams
Get
is
rid
a
of
free.
Goff.
Jamal Williams is a free agent. You wouldn't have to cut him.
You don't have to cut him. You're right. You're right.
Yeah,
You're right. You're right.
Jared Goff is the one that has cut there. Now, I will say he just went on to a complete Lions tangent without really getting him an answer. First and foremost, I think
We gave him an answer.
Oh, we all said slam dunk. Okay, let's stay on this Lions tangent for a minute. So, DeAndre Swift has 1 year left on his rookie deal. You got Williams for 4 years. Amon-Ra, you've got 2 years left. You got 2 years left to Goff. You try to build up the defense, and then you're in a position to where you can. Because, Dan, you're right. An individual defensive player does not get it done, but a good defensive unit is the difference between, being able to make a deep run versus not being able to make a deep run. Can you step up and lock it down? The Bucs the last couple of years had to show massive improvements on defense to get there. The Rams had to, make some big moves on defense to get playmakers. If you can get playmakers on defense and multiple and shore that up, then you're a well-rounded, well-balanced team. And 2 years down the road, the remainder of Goff's contract, if, you've gotten close, but he's not the guy, you're just in a position where you need to retool. You don't need to full on rebuild it. Now,
Yes,
that means you could be playing in free agency for a quarterback, sure, with some of the guys from a couple of years ago. You could end up on the trade market. You're trying to fill it. But, I think that this merits a deeper dive into Goff's performance, and do you feel like he's good enough to get it done? If not, then you have a trade piece that you move. You don't keep him if you go quarterback.
They were 1-6 before this before this run started, right? It's not. I get it. Good quarterbacks can also go on bad runs. I get that, but it's you get those high end defensive players because you have a cheap quarterback contract. You shore up the most important position in football. The one that
but they have a cheap quarterback contract. It's half the price of most others right now.
Yeah,
but you can get that but you can get that from a guy who has a higher, who's better than Goff in terms of what his ceiling could be. And I think we've seen what Goff's ceiling is. And maybe you get a miracle run like what the Rams did with him a few years ago. And then he takes you to a shit season because he can't carry a team unless he has all of his best players there. We have another question. So much I want to keep. I'm sure Ryan loves it.
Is this one from Anthony? Let's go for Anthony. Anthony asked first.
I did not see his question pop up before Bama, so I apologize, Anthony, if you're still in here. I apologize. His question isn't really fantasy related. It's more. I guess you can kind of say this. He's asking if we think Zay Jones has surpassed Christian Kirk as the go-to receiver.
I
think it's all based on who gets the top end coverage.
Yeah, I think it's based
exactly.
on the matchup. You've got Zay Jones for the last 5 weeks, double digits in targets. Christian Kirk, 2 out of the last 5 weeks, double digits in targets. So yeah, I think that it really just depends. Zay Jones is built on the viability that he showed outside for the Raiders last year. Let's put it that way. I think that's generally what it boils down to, is that you got a 1A, 1B type of situation. I think Zay's got a little bit more touchdown upside, sure, but I think overall, as far as who's considered the one receiver and who's going to get the targets, you're 1A, 1B. I would consider Zay 1A right now, but I don't think he's fully surpassed him.
Ryan?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think it's going to flip flop back and forth. It's all dependent on, because the way Trevor Lawrence is excelling right now is freaking crazy. Where he's actually,
I'm not shocked at all. This is what was expected of him.
It was expected of him, but it's really taken off on him. But I think he's just going to use his receivers to the best of what he thinks is available to him at that time. So yeah, this week it could be Zay Jones. Next week it could be Christian Kirk. He knows how to use that balance. Look what he did with Evan Ingram. 1 week, the 11 receptions, 152 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So it's just you never know how it's going to work. It's just how Trevor Lawrence is going to work.
Yeah, it's I don't know if he's ever had. I mean, I guess maybe Justin Ross was a go-to receiver during his time in Clemson, but you know, I guess maybe this is shocking, but Christian Kirk or Zay Jones aren't considered really go-to receivers. They're both like I agree with Hopper Ryan here. They're more so a complementary pieces to if they had a number one, right? Kurt was
Yeah.
never viewed as number one. He was just paid as number one, right? And that, I mean, we can talk about that all we want, but Kurt is also a primary slot receiver. Slot receivers generally, unless you're leagues, leagues well over the best in the league, like a Cup or a Michael Thomas when it's prime, are considered your go-to receivers. Generally, that's an outside guy, that can work the boundary, that can work deep, that can work all three levels of the field. A guy like Jefferson Diggs, hit Chase and so on and so forth. So I don't think either of them are true go-to receivers. I think, as Ryan mentioned, I think it's who has the better matchup that week and who is working their way open more. Because Lawrence looks both Kurt and Zay Jones this way in the red zone, which is another true test on third down. The same thing. Evan Ingram, as Ryan mentioned just a couple weeks ago, 11 target game, big game, the biggest he's had in his career. And that's the best thing about Lawrence is that he can get his other ancillary pieces to really take off in that way. So a long-winded answer to wrap it all up is sure, he surpassed him.
It's week to week.
Yeah.
Wait till next year, man, with Calvin Ridley. It's gonna be fun. That's gonna be a fun offense to watch.
It's wait till they draft a wide receiver one, and then it'll be really fun to watch.
Oh my god, yeah.
All right, we got a question from Damien. He wants to know, this is more fantasy related here. He wants to know if Minshew is a good option this week, and we can kind of let's do we don't have to go, a full line into it because we'll do that in the previews, but let's just kind of give maybe a short preview to it. A preview to a preview.
I think yes. That's just my own. I mean, if you can't find anyone else out there, I mean, who else is available? And based on like this week's type of like waiver wire, if you're saying like Brock Purdy, Russell Wilson, players like that, I still rather have Minshew over them just because I feel like that offense. I mean, he has finally a wide receiver one.
Did you just say Russell Wilson in that group of people?
I was going down. Yeah,
It just feels weird. No. It feels very weird. It just feels weird. Like he was a top 8-round pick at QB leagues, and now he's being in the same breath as Brock Purdy and Daniel Jones and Jared Goff.
Zach Wilson.
No, not Zach. He hasn't fallen that far yet.
Not well, yeah, he has.
I know, joking, but yeah.
Definitely
Sorry, go ahead,
fallen
Ryan.
that far yet.
But yeah, last year when he played it, he played against the Cowboys week 18. I think he had under 200 yards, but 2 touchdowns and an interception. Only reason I know that is because I'm writing about him right now. So he's actually part of my DFS play because he's cheap on DFS as long as Hurts is out. But mind you, last year when he played, he didn't have any wide receivers there. It was just Devonta Smith. I think it was
Quez Watkins.
Quez Watkins.
The Fulgham. Jalen Rager.
Trevor. Oh yeah, Trevor Fulgham.
Travis
Travis
Fulgham.
I think I said Trevor. Same
You said
difference. Same. It doesn't matter. They're the same player.
That's normal for you. Yeah, Minshew's in that top tier of streamers this week. I think if you're looking to grab somebody, I mean, Purdy against the Commanders is pretty well up there. I would say Cousins against the Giants if he's out there. Potentially either quarterback in the Raiders Steelers game, but he's just as good as anybody else you're going to pick up off waivers with a bit more upside, just given the talent that's around him receiver wise and everything.
AJ Brown, I think it makes a huge difference for him. I think that's a big help.
And getting Goddard back.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's Dallas isn't a great matchup, but like I said,
Dallas isn't looking that good anymore on defense right now.
They're still bottom half again, or they're still top half against quarterbacks. And they've been, it's been a little
rocky lately.
They also place against the rising up and coming Trevor Lawrence. Yeah. All right. Where are we?
Ninth in
Beer
points allowed
preview?
to quarterback. No, we haven't even gotten to the beer preview. We've just been in question. Hey, by the way, I was sorting through some stats while we were doing all that talking about Jared Goff to come full circle.
Yes, first circles.
Yeah,
First circles.
full circle.
For circles
Full circle.
or Furbies now?
It's been a long day. First circles.
First circles. So to come full circle, in a lot of particularly counting stats, Jared Goff is a top 10 NFL quarterback on a $25 million deal. Not a top 10 fantasy quarterback, but a top 10 NFL quarterback. However, there are some things there to not like as well. So I think to put a bow on all of that, the Lions have a decision to make, and I think you could justify it either way, whether they wanted to build defense and try to win and build on what they have now, or they want to make a change at quarterback. And, try to draft somebody, bring in a rookie, and either have Goff as a backup or move him to somebody that misses out on the QB derby that desperately needs.
And I wonder too if Ben Johnson, who's their offensive coordinator, has a huge thing to do with it, because I've been hearing rumors of him as a head coach candidate for a lot of teams. So if he leaves, that might change things up too.
Well,
I think it would be. I think it'd be a mistake to not at least have an attempt to take one this year. You've been building this roster for this exact moment, and Goff is great. Hopper, I agree. You write out his contract and then either sign him for cheaper, or you go out and get another backup that can be a part of that. It's because Goff's going to command more money in 2 years if he continues to play well. Then you have to pay a quarterback in which is above average at its highest, I guess, good at his highest level, and you can't always expect the defense to carry you.
He's right there with Carson Wentz next, as far as cap hit goes. Jared Goff is. Behind Watson, Carr, Prescott, Allen, Mahomes' extension doesn't kick in yet.
And that's going to change
full
too.
force. Yeah, that's going to change soon.
Yeah.
If
You have Lamar Jackson contract and everything else too. Yeah.
Right, that's going to drive it down. And when
But he's going to be he'll get more money too once he gets the second contract because of where the quarterback market is at that point.
Yeah.
All right, we got another question before we go into Bama coming in at the
Haven't even
11th
gotten
hour.
Coming in hot.
We haven't even gotten to the beer preview because you motherfuckers have to know now. If Hurts doesn't play, and I think even if Hurts does play, because I don't trust Hurts this week at all, Watson, Carr, or Minshew, if Hurts doesn't go, or if Hurts does go.
All right, let me break this down. Watson's got the Saints, who have been absolutely porous and terrible.
Yep. And he's starting to look better. Not
But it's also outdoors.
great.
And it's going to be a lot of snow.
in Cleveland.
Yes.
Okay.
Derek Carr's at Pittsburgh.
Probably
That's
same thing.
same difference.
Yeah.
Or against Dallas in a
In a
retractable dome. Is there
It's a
retractable?
retractable dome, but I mean,
Okay.
they're not. It's not going to be.
It's fucking
snowstorming
Dallas.
In Dallas. Yeah.
This ain't 2012. Yeah.
Right.
Let's see what Watson.
I think it's.
That's what I'm looking at
I think
too
it's
now.
Minshew. The problem with the Saints is they're not going to push your pace of play. They're not going to push you to score points. The last 5 weeks, 26th in points allowed to the quarterback. The Saints are, and that's not because they're lighting the world on fire. It's because they're not going to push. They're not going to push pace. So that game's going to be really slow and methodical. Raiders Steelers. Looking at that one,
Ugly.
yeah, a little bit. Steelers are giving up the least amount of points to the quarterback over the last 5 weeks. Was I looking at that right? Hold on.
It depends who they've played. I don't know how many good quarterback teams have they played.
Sorry. Last 3 weeks, they've given up the least amount. They gave up 15 to Darnold, 7.5 to Huntley, 14 to Mariota, 16 to Ryan. Last good quarterback they played was Burrow. He put up 34. 12 to Dalton.
Yeah.
31 to Hurts. 18 to Tua. We're back in the first part of the season. Is
Yeah.
Derek Carr a good quarterback?
No.
No,
He
he's
does get.
just-
I mean, he does have Waller back help, but I mean, Derek Carr and this Raiders team they're not very good.
I think it's Minshew.
I do too. Watson
Yeah, I'm
has
still
not
going
been
Minshew.
good at all this year. I think next year is the time where you can, I guess, trust him. I mean, I hope he dies in a fiery flame, but that's just me. But next year, probably to trust him.
Yeah.
Plus
Minshew's
Watson
the
isn't
answer.
good in cold weather too, either, right?
I mean,
From like
he hasn't
from what I
played,
remember.
Sure, they hasn't
played
played
3
in the
games
I mean,
in
that
2
was-
years.
I mean, it feels like so many years ago since the last time I seen him really actually play.
I do
Yeah,
want
I-
to look into this. That's something I thought about the other day, actually, is looking into splits like that. You guys remember a couple years ago when we had Ben and Breeze still in the league and we're like, they're bad on the road. You don't play them on the road. Like, who is that today? Who's bad on the road today? Who's good at home? Who's good at night versus bad at night? Who's good in cold versus not in cold? You know, shit like that. We hadn't done that in a while. Hadn't looked at that in a while. Anyway, for the Cowboys, you know, a little bit higher floor there as far as what they're giving up. They give it 23 to Rodgers, 16 Daniel Jones, 19 to Matt Ryan, 34 to Lawrence. And Philly has a hell of an offense.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
In the first place, just makes the decision tough because there's so many situations in which Hurts can be taken from the game. You know, a blowout in another direction, he's benched. One bad hit, he's bent, or he's not benched because he's bad. Obviously, he's not going to play because they can't risk him. That's why I don't think Hurts is going to play this week. But it'd be fucking asinine
no,
if he did.
It matters for the division, though.
He's in a
Dallas would have to win. Dallas would have to win out.
I thought they were.
I mean-
they don't have to win out, right?
They would have to win out. That's that. The
Oh, yeah,
last
they
time
would,
I
sorry.
saw, they would
They're
have
10
to
and
win
4.
out.
You're right. You're right. I was thinking of something else. They're 10 and 4. I don't know where the hell my head was. Yes, they would
Playing
have
the
to.
Packers.
They would have to win out, including winning this game.
Yeah.
Because did you watch Monday Night Football last night? Because that's all they talked about was Packers having to win out in order.
No,
to
that's
even
why I
play out.
watched.
They do
That's
have
why I
to
watched
win
the
out.
Manning cast, so I don't have to listen to fucking Joe Buck and Troy Aikman slobber and Rogers.
They do
dick
have to
all
win
fucking-
out, and I looked at who has the best chance at winning out. The Cowboys could win out. I mean, it's Eagles. If they can win that one, it's Titans and the Commanders.
Oh, Commanders are still tough too. Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
Titans. Yeah, I mean both of them are.
They could win, but it's not unrealistic to think that Dallas can win out. I'm just saying. It's going to come
I
down
don't
to
think-
do
yeah.
they think they can win with Minshew, and I think that they can.
Yeah,
And either
there's
way,
no
they're
reason.
in the playoffs, but that one seed matters a lot.
Yes. All right. Beer preview.
Love beer.
Oh, thanks, Nick.
What's fueling Beerfield?
I'm already like 3/4 of the way through my first glass of this.
Well,
That's how long.
That's a good sign.
This might be
That's
a
good
new
sign.
record for how long it's taken us to get to the 30 minutes into the show.
I was drinking another beer to let my other beer warm up. So
Good call. What are you drinking, Ryan?
I am drinking Shorts Brewing Nitro Cup of Joe,
Ooh.
which is a nitro stout with coffee and milk sugar.
Are you
perfect
drinking that
morning
out of the
I'll
can?
take
nightcapper.
that. Yes, he is. Of course he is.
Pour that in a glass, Nitro, sir.
All right, I'll be right back then.
Yeah, hard pour that in a glass. You're not going to get the
Yeah,
flow
otherwise
back
it-
out of the can.
it's gonna come out pretty flat otherwise. It's not a Guinness where you can get away with that.
Some people's kids.
Noobs. I am I'm drinking
All right. He's wearing AirPods. He can still hear us.
you can hear us there, that's for sure. What a dick. No, I'm kidding. All right, I'm drinking Brickstone Breweries. This is something I found on my fridge because
Ooh, I haven't had Brickstone in forever.
Yeah, so this is a 2020 Dark Secret variant.
Oh,
This is the vanilla espresso. I did roll the can to kind of mix up any of the adjuncts that may have fallen to the bottom of the can, which is definitely a real thing. And spoiler alert, both of the coffee and vanilla are on there. Vanilla's pretty faint. Coffee is fighting true and strong after 2 years in my mini fridge.
As it will be. Vanilla will fade before coffee will. All right. Speaking of things that are adjuncted to shit that
Hard pour it, Ryan. Hard pour it.
hard pour.
It's
Don't
a
go
goddamn.
easy. Yeah,
It's
just
it's
straight
a
in there.
nitro.
There you go.
Get in there. Yeah.
There you go. Gonna be
Get
nice.
in there.
That's gonna improve your experience.
Fucking rookies, man.
By the way, we should actually talk about that for a second.
You guys are
So-
dicks. You know that? Not that I
Actually-
heard it like 37 seconds ago, but you guys are dicks.
I know. We should probably
Have your
talk
pods
about
in.
that actually before we in all seriousness, let's talk about the pour for a second.
Yep.
Couple misconceptions about the pour and things you should know about the pour. First off, anytime you're drinking something that's adjuncted or heavily hopped, put it in a damn glass. Because so much of what you get out of that is aroma based, and those aromas do not release well in the can. So if you want the full experience of beers, you drink IPAs all the time. You should be drinking those out of a glass too, really. But if you want the full experience of a beer, you should be drinking it out of a glass because that's going to allow the aroma to hit you and it's going to allow you to pick up on more flavors of that. Now, that doesn't so much apply to lagers or basic stouts or, some ales, pilsners, ales, things that aren't like super overly complex. More so light lagers. Pilsners have some aromas to them, especially the European ones. But most things you should be drinking out of a glass. Light lagers, some ales, the exception there, because it really doesn't matter. As far as nitro versus CO2 carbed, nitro is going to be creamier and it's going to taste flat when you drink it out of a can. That's why, like Dan said, hard pour that damn thing. Because when you hard pour it, you're going to agitate all of that, kind of force it up towards the top. It's going to give you a creamy experience without tasting flat. Nitro out of a can or bottle is just going to taste like flat beer. Other thing is, if you went to college, you probably know the old adage of, I'm going to try to pour this beer without head to get as much beer in the glass as I can. You absolutely don't want to do that either. That head on the beer helps to trap CO2 and release aroma out of the beer, so that's going to enhance your flavor. So a good 1 to 2 inches, actually probably 1 to 4 inches ahead on most beers is a good thing. Dan's smiling.
Just a tip. Just a tip, boys.
Just a tip.
Just a tip. Just the length of the tip.
Just
But
the
you
tip.
gotta remember, most college kids are drinking like Bud Ice,
They are, and
Natty Light.
Yeah.
yep, and also if somebody gives you a frosted glass, throw it at them.
God. My least favorite thing is, you want a frosted glass? No, I want you to throw them out of the fucking fridge and then close down your bar because you're doing your customers.
You serve Bud
just-
Light in frosted glasses because it makes it easier to drink because it kills all the flavor.
And sometimes there are beers specifically made. It's a bit of a popular trend in Europe
Yes,
where you want to hard pour them. There are pilsners where they want to hard pour and slowly get to a spot. Obviously, if you full pour the whole thing, you might get some over the bottle, but they'll have specific bottle to hard pouring. They want you to experience the beer in which the brewer wanted it to be done, and some of those beers are done as a true hard pour.
You wanna
I like
learn-
my frosted glasses though sometimes too. So you guys can throw glasses at me when you see me.
It just
I
depends on
mean,
what it is.
Yeah,
IPAs usually, like if it's certain IPAs, like
Kills
sessions and stuff like
all
that.
the fucking hop aroma.
Basically, just the sessions.
it's okay. You drink the
Sessions
beer.
are just lower
You drink
ABV,
the way
though.
you
They're
want
not lower
to.
hops.
Yeah,
Yeah, drink
hops
it-
don't add any alcohol. Another thing that we can debunk: hops do not add any alcohol to a beer.
That's true. Double dry hopped and triple dry hopped does not mean more alcohol. It's double
Nope.
IPAs that give you more alcohol. Double dry hop, triple dry hopping in general is not a stronger beer. It's stronger flavor.
And Bama agrees.
And stronger aroma, not even necessarily flavor.
Yeah, just
all
gives
about
you
that
it just
aroma.
enhances the hops.
But
that
hops
you're
are like
using more.
malts. You get them too cold, you don't get the aroma out of the beer.
Yeah.
Just some tidbits. If you want to learn more about that, there's a ton of it on YouTube, and the Cicerone server certification goes into a lot of that. If you can find any materials of that online.
Ryan, we're gonna need you to do that by next year. We got a question. Like, I swear to God, these like pop up like not in order, and then they like rotate themselves. So it look like I've been
I
missing.
mean,
people.
since he's just a second-year player, I think Drake would be the one I'd take a shot at.
Oh, Nick, I don't know you want to take a shot on Drake.
No, Nick, not this week.
All right, so we have a defensive question because we know how much we love to dive into defenses here.
Ooh.
It's from Jacob.
What's up, Jacob?
He's asking, should I start the Dallas defense versus Philly?
Yeah.
Other options are Tennessee versus Houston or Cleveland versus the Saints. I think we all can say that Dallas
You don't start Dallas against
is not
Philly.
the answer, even if it's
No.
Minshew.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else available?
No, actually, hold on. Cleveland against the Saints, I don't necessarily hate. Cleveland's
like
defense
that.
has been
I don't like
a little
that.
bit hot here lately. Saints are not putting up points. Good floor.
Sack potential. You have an immobile quarterback.
Yep.
You have one of the league's best pass rushers, which is why I don't hate Dallas's defense if you don't get heavy negatives to points allowed because of sack and turnover potential.
Right.
So sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just to say Tennessee. The matchup's fine. Houston's played teams tough the last couple weeks, so they've been a little bit of a trap. So I'd try away from that one too. I think I like Cleveland's the most out of those three. That's all I was gonna say.
I'm with you on Cleveland. Ryan, where are you at?
Are the Chargers available? Like,
Didn't we do
I-
this
I don't know.
Between these three, Ryan, who do you
I-
like? And then maybe we'll talk about other teams.
I fucking hate defenses, man. I really do. Because I always
Well-
feel like it.
Well, in redraft, defenses. exist.
I know, no.
Hold on. He's got Denver
Oh,
against the Rams,
oh.
Cincinnati at New England.
Cincinnati's
Denver.
going to be without Hubbard, but Denver against the Rams is really good.
Yeah, that's what I want. Give me Denver.
He had no fucking clue until I told you.
Bullshit. I have Denver on my team last week, so I know exactly what I'm talking about. Biatch.
Bullshit, Cotton.
Yeah, give me Denver.
I like yeah. I think we're all in agreement, right? Ryan, are you gonna finally answer?
Yes, Denver.
Okay.
we know Denver. Come on.
Thanks, Satan.
Denver.
Oh,
It-
wait,
it-
sorry. Santa, I get the two confused.
It
Dyslexia
is.
and stuff.
You know,
It
I'll
is
leave
against
again,
our
but I
boy
might get
Baker.
buzzed in.
It-
Yeah,
it
but
is
Baker did
against
not have
our-
a good Monday.
The whole team looked terrible Monday. Besides Cam Akers, oddly enough.
I started Cam Akers and he won.
Started
One
Ben
for me.
Skoranek. That never works out for me.
Ugh.
Fire him into the sun in the offseason.
Ooh, Charger available as well. Holy crap.
Yeah, well,
All the defenses are available. Who are they playing?
Colts.
Are the Bills available?
The Colts.
Bills probably aren't available.
The Bills. No, the Bills are the most overdrafted defense, probably.
Chargers got the Colts.
Also interesting, but I like the Rams and Baker
Yes.
more than
give me
Matt
the
Ryan and
Broncos.
the Colts. You want sacks and turnover potential. Points allowed isn't. It's important to an extent, but sacks and turnover potential are what you're really looking for.
Right. Colts are going to clean up
Second
that
defense.
shit show from last week, I think, a little bit. So I would probably go in order Broncos, Browns, Chargers.
I was totally Jekyll and Hyde during that game. Like the first half, I'm fucking screaming, pulling my hair out. Shouldn't have started Kirk Cousins. Shouldn't have started Dalvin Cook. I screwed up. The end of the game, 80 points. I was happy.
I mean, as a Vikings fan, I was very happy.
yeah,
and a
well,
little
that was a
confused.
roller coaster for you, too.
It's been the Vikings season. I think someone tweeted out and said this is a perfect example of the 22 Vikings and the 22 Colts. This game in its entirety is that perfect example. I'm like, that's true.
It's just Matt Ryan luck.
I still have not
I
given
feel
my
bad for
damn
him.
beer preview, by the way.
We are 45 minutes into this show.
I have not mentioned at all what I'm drinking.
Have you drank your beer yet? Have you drank the whole thing
I-
too?
Dude, it's a fucking bomber and it's empty.
Might as well just hit the beer review button afterwards.
That's what's left of that.
All right. What are you drinking?
I am drinking peanut butter cup s'mores, absence of light.
And we have
so-
another question. No, I'm
Hold on.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I am drinking peanut butter cup s'mores, absence of light. This is also a couple years old. It has been in the fridge the whole time. Still waiting on it to warm up a little bit to see what exactly is left on it. So this is an older beer, but need to clean out some bombers. So I'm going with. I made the mistake of aging an adjuncted beer. That's all. Can we do some news?
There's yeah.
Is there another question?
There is not. I'm going through to make sure I didn't miss anything because apparently they just pop up out of nowhere. No.
All right, let's kick off some news here before we get off the rails too much.
Oh, thanks, Nick.
Oh, wait, little late. We're already off the rails
Yeah.
too much.
Sorry, Daddy. Sorry, Dad.
Sorry, Dad. Should have used that one earlier. I didn't remember that it said before we get off the rails too much.
I mean, we talk so much, Nick can't get a word in.
Right.
News.
Shit, where did I put the news? There it is. Okay. Jalen Hurts injured his shoulder against the Bears. He's truly questionable this week. Gardner Minshew is backup. We talked about that a lot already. I don't think we need to do that anymore. Kenny
I
Pickett.
have Hurts in every league that I'm in, playoffs or facing them. Just
Yes,
want to
me
throw that
too.
out there. Kenny Pickett.
Is there a trade deadline in the listener league?
They happened a couple weeks ago.
I think Nick does have one. Yeah.
Damn.
Fucking.
I would have
rookies.
offered you a quarterback.
I have Bacon. I couldn't even get it out.
Yeah, Baker.
I have the you were the chosen one.
I'm out here in your league. This is actually the argument for trade deadlines in the playoff because I'm out here in your league now. Like, all right, I got these running backs that were 1-year rentals. Anybody want anything?
I don't think it's not an argument against it. It is, you want to read.
Nobody's biting on it though.
Yeah, I see. It's like trade deadlines. It's like not having deadlines doesn't mean that everyone's gonna trade.
Yeah.
All over the place.
We really
because
haven't
there's
had
no deadline.
anything after when most trade deadlines would have happened, honestly.
It's almost like people are deciding whether or not they want to go all in mid-season.
Yeah.
It's almost like that's determined with or without a deadline.
Yep. Kenny Pickett going to return this week after his second concussion of the season, so he will start against Vegas. Khalil Herbert activated off IR by the Bears. They get the Bills. That'll be... I don't know. I feel like that'll be fun in a couple years.
Yeah.
Zach Wilson has been named the Jets' Week 16 starter after a decent showing last week. Mike White has 3 broken ribs, so...
That man gave his entire body up to that team.
Yes,
He did.
Like he was in and out of that game. It's like just
Freaking
let the man go
crazy.
to rest. Like Buffalo has destroyed him. Just let him die peacefully.
I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. You know, if he
Oh my God.
had a little bit more mobility, he might have been able to avoid that Milano hit.
God, that was the cleanest, roughest hit I've ever seen.
Yeah,
It was solidly
So-
clean.
It was
It
so
was-
good. It was like perfect technique.
It was a perfect hit. Jonathan Taylor, IR, ends his disappointing fantasy season. Jordan Wilkins signed to the active roster. Your 3-headed backfield there is Wilkins, Zach Moss, and Deion Jackson.
So Deion Jackson.
I've been seeing Zach Moss as like the top waiver pickup.
Remember
It's
all
so
that
weird.
talk? Remember all that talk about how you should take Jonathan Taylor over injury-prone Christian McCaffrey? Man, what a great conversation.
Yeah.
What a good time. It's almost like running backs are just a 50-50 crapshoot. But you know what? God
Hey,
damn it, Jonathan Taylor has never been hurt.
So I feel like going back to 2017, as long as we've been doing this, the consensus RB1 has not been the RB1.
It's
At the end of the season.
there still has never been an RB1 in back like someone's never finished as an RB1 in back-to-back seasons ever. I think McCaffrey and maybe Gurley has gotten close.
Yeah.
Like think the closest.
They stayed top tier for a little bit. David Johnson was top tier for a couple of years too, wasn't he?
I mean, he had his 2017 breakout season, and then he immediately got hurt the following year in week 1 against Detroit.
That's right.
Bama's got one more question for us. And this
Okay.
is a real thing. QBs Jackson, Murray, Huntley, McCoy, Zach Wilson. It's a lot of QBs.
A lot of
I had to-
names.
Had to
Right?
buy, but for semifinals, Fields or Murray, what's the plus? So he's looking to move Murray for Justin Fields.
Oh my God.
This is, I'm assuming, a super flex league. So he's got Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, the backups of those two. So Tyler Huntley and Colt McCoy, and then Zach Wilson. And he's asking us, what do you think? What do you need to add on top of Kyler Murray to go out and get Justin Fields? So what's the highest? What's the highest you could go? You would want to go, and where are you kind of most comfortable at with this?
Well, what do you have to trade? Because that's what makes it
Yeah, what
easier to understand. What
Well,
to
I
do.
mean, sure,
You know,
but
like outside of quarterback?
are you throwing draft picks
yes
on top
like,
of there?
You have to. I don't think you get
Yeah.
it done without them.
Sure. So what draft pick would you like?
well,
It's
plus what's
more
the
s-
Fields owner have? Like, what does the Fields owner need? A wide receiver, or a running back? You know, you have to look at that too.
I get that. But what on
Yeah,
top of Murray are you looking for? We don't like you can dive into his roster.
Okay,
Sure.
without diving into rosters too deep, because I think that this is one that you really have to tailor. This is a hard one to answer in a vacuum without getting
Yeah.
into too much of the details, which is why Ryan wants to go there. Not easy to answer in a vacuum. Outside of that vacuum, I need either Superflex.
So you're looking for at least multiple. You're looking for one or two first, just because of Murray.
It's tough because they're both young. Murray just got paid, so you have
Murray just got paid. I think Fields has significantly more upside given the nothing around him and how much of that he's shown this year.
Well, especially for
Um,
next year too, with Murray being injured.
Correct. And with Cliff potentially on the way out, a shakeup in offenses, and Murray's top weapon being on the wrong side of 30. But the
Hopkins
mobility
isn't
thing,
30 yet.
He's on the wrong side of 29 then.
wrong side of 29, then. He will be on the
I-
wrong side of 30. That's how age works.
Well, I mean, if you're 30, you're on the right side of 30.
And he
'cause
is
at
on the
least you're
wrong side of 30. He's 30 years and 197 days.
Is he
Suck it.
30 years? God damn. Yeah, still 31. I think his
So,
rolls. He's
suck it.
fine.
Anyway, yeah, he's 31, which, yeah, he's got some of the talent, but he's not getting. He has, since his first 2 weeks back, no games over 100 yards, 1 touchdown. Murray, you worry about the mobility coming back. So, long way of saying that it would have to be probably. I feel like to get Fields with Murray, you'd have to give up either a second or probably somebody in that low wide receiver 2 flex range to do it. I don't know that there's a running back right now that you can part with that gets it done on top of it.
I
And I don't
mean,
think you're going to bundle 2 quarterbacks.
I think you can probably get Murray and like it depends how high you want to go for running back. I think you can do Murray if you have a high 23 first. That could be Bijan Robinson. There's a lot of people that are so high in Bijan that they would potentially take that deal for Fields or for Murray by giving up Fields.
Well, hold on. Are we all on the same page that Fields has more value than Murray?
Yes,
in
Yes.
Dynasty?
absolutely.
Okay.
I assumed we all were on the same page because I figured. Yeah,
I'd be willing to start with Murray and McCoy, just get that package Arizona deal.
See,
To go,
but
at least you have
McCoy's
a quarterback coming back.
Yeah, but McCoy's a useless piece to me at this point in the season, right? If I'm willing to get rid of Justin Fields, I'm out
I
of
want
the
a second-
playoffs. What
yeah.
the hell do I need McCoy for?
yeah.
Next season.
I want a
Mm.
second round. No,
No.
I want a second round pick. Like I think you can maybe start with Murray in a first if you don't want to give up any valuable,
I think
the
it'd be Murray
players
in a
you
first.
have. I think Murray in a first gets the conversation rolling. I don't know if it gets it done.
Yeah,
age-wise-
I would have tossed out Murray in a second as the conversation starter before I went immediately to a first. But if you're in the ship, Dan's probably right. It's going to have to be Murray in a first because you're at the back end of the first.
Yeah, and you're. This is where value slightly changes. You are coming to the championship. You are coming up to the last 2 weeks of this season. Their value is going to ramp up because you're looking to get a deal done sooner rather
You're
than
going to have
later.
to pay a premium to get it done
yeah,
right now.
It's not the off season, or we're not in the middle of this season where you have both players so healthy. This is, as Hopper mentioned, you're paying a premium for this. So I think Murray and a mid to late first. It depends how high your first is. So
If you want to go players, you're going to have to give up somebody that's in that mid to high wide receiver 2 range, I think.
Yeah, he said it's a
Yeah.
Debbie. He said it's slightly Debbie depleted. So first round picks aren't as
Gotcha.
Valuable.
valuable, especially high end players that are
Then
probably
you gotta
already.
give up first easily. Then
Like Bryce Young would have been gone, Stroud would be gone, Bijan would be gone.
yeah, if it's Debbie depleted, you have to give up at least a
Yeah.
first, if not more. Then
Yeah, so
because you end up Debbie depleted like that, then your draft picks lose value too.
now he says he needs running backs. The guy he could be trading with needs running backs, and that's he's Mike Williams type. Mike Williams is I'd be fine with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would upgrade. I would take an upgrade from Murray to Fields and pay Mike Williams. I'm fine with that.
I would do that in a heartbeat because I don't think
Mike
Mike Williams.
I think he's a free agent this year too. I don't think
Mike
they
Williams?
signed
No,
him.
he signed last year.
Last year,
Yeah.
What was his deal? Was it a 4-year deal? Extension?
I thought it was like 4 for. It was 4 for something.
Yeah, it's like 64.5 million, I think. I want to say off the top of my
That's
head.
what I was
I
thinking.
go-
Was 4 in the 6th year. It was a 3-year deal.
Mike Williams, Deontay Johnson,
Sorry,
guys
4 years.
maybe on bad teams. Running back wise, it's really tough. You can try to leverage a Miles Sanders, a David Montgomery, Josh Jacobs, guys that are all free agents this year, and try to hope that they don't re-sign with their team. So you gain the value, the slightly less value of them gone, or like you gain the unknown away from those guys.
3 for
That's if-
60 on Williams, by the way.
Okay, so it's a 3-year on top of his 5th year this year.
It's
No.
crazy that Justin
He
Fields
was-
already has 1,000
He
rushing yards
actually
too
hit
right
free
now.
agency. This was not his.
Was his 5th? Oh, that's
They didn't
right.
pick
They didn't
up
pick
his
it up.
5th-year option, so he actually
That's-
hit free agency. So this was
That's
the
right.
first year of a 3-year, $60 million deal.
Yeah, Mike Williams would be that type of receiver. But that's a really good question, Bam, and that just speaks to the. You are right. It's difficult without knowing every single team. He said he could get Lawrence, but he wants Murray and Brees Hall. Would you move Murray and Brees Hall for Trevor Lawrence?
No.
Yeah, that's why. That
No.
no. And I view
Unless you
I
get
have
something
Fields
else
higher
back.
than Lawrence. Yeah,
I
maybe
feel-
Murray Brees for depending on who he has at running back, he can maybe do a swap, but I don't know. I mean, I love Lawrence, and
Well, and Brees
I don't
looked
know if-
really good before the injury too.
yeah, and he should take that starting role back as soon as he comes back. Just
And it was early enough in the season to where I'm not worried about him next year. So
and it was not a Dobbins or Javonte Williams type ACL tear where there was more damage to the knee outside of just the ACL. So it was a clean break, or I guess a clean tear in this case.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're all in. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
We're on the same page.
Yep. All right. Beer preview.
You mean beer review?
No. Preview.
You still gotta go. That's right. You're not done yet. We're an hour into the show.
All right. So absence of light, peanut butter s'mores. It's a milk stout with vanilla, marshmallow flavor, peanut butter, 7.5%. Peanut butter cups. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I'm done. There's my beer preview. Rest of the news, because we were in the middle of that too.
That's right. We were on the news port.
Dallas
53
Goddard,
minutes in.
Jesus. Dallas Goddard activated from IR. Last time out with Minshew, he was 6 for 105 and 2 against the Jets. Matthew Stafford confirmed that he has no plans of retiring, and the Packers waived Sammy Watkins, later signed by the Ravens.
The most easily predicted move of this entire season. Watkins going back to Baltimore.
Yep. Anything else on the news?
No.
Okay.
We'll find out during previews.
Great. Christmas wishes. We're going to do this quick. NFL Christmas wishes. It's a holiday season. And as we look at playoffs and Black Monday and where our teams are, and we all have wants. So, I'll start. My first want for the holiday season in the NFL is I want Jacksonville and Detroit to make the playoffs. I want to root for an underdog, and I want to have a good underdog to root for. And if I have two, then it's even better. Detroit's in the wild card hunt, and Jacksonville and Tennessee will likely come down to Week 18 for the AFC South title.
Are they playing each other?
They are. in week
fuck
18.
yeah.
And there's about 3, because Jacksonville holds the tiebreaker right now.
Yep.
There's about 3 or 4 different ways. They don't have to be tied going into it. Jacksonville just has to keep pace. The only way that is not a tiebreaker game is if Jacksonville doesn't keep pace. And when I looked at the remaining schedules, they should be either one game apart like they are right now or tied going into week 18. Jacksonville's got the head-to-head tiebreaker. Tennessee has the better division record at the moment, which is the second tiebreaker. So Jacksonville could be winning in, and for the Lions at 7-7, they win out. They're almost for sure in the NFC, and they could win out.
They have one of the easiest schedules compared to for the rest of the NFC.
They do, and
North.
They do. They do indeed. And they could absolutely win out. So, and I don't even think they necessarily have to win out. They pretty much have to leapfrog Washington.
Yeah, which is not much because Washington has a half game because of the tie.
Correct.
Wait, they have a tie?
Yeah, Washington has the
they
tie.
tied. They tied the Giants in Week 13.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
I
wow.
completely forgot about that. Again, so much I care about Washington.
Anyway, I want an underdog to root for, and Jacksonville and Detroit are the two that are closest to doing it. And I like both teams. So, I mean, I don't want Detroit to be good long term, but as long as the Bears suck, I'll root for somebody a team that hasn't had a lot of success the last 2 decades plus.
2 decades
Okay,
since like 1953.
you guys have made the playoffs since.
Yeah, I think they had like
2011.
I think they've had like 2 or 3 playoff berths.
I think I was the same age as my son last time they actually won a playoff game.
Oh,
No, I was
God.
actually younger than him. 92 was the last one, so I was.
There was 3.
That
I was going
division.
I was going on 7.
The North is going to be so fun next year with Detroit and Chicago.
Chicago improved, yeah.
And it'll be even better because the Packers should be the bottom of the barrel then.
Yes, please.
Yep.
Oh, another question. ETN on Thursday or Alvin Kamara against the Browns? So ETN versus the Jets?
I'm going ETN. I'm going all ETN on that one. Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
Like, everybody wants to focus on Jonathan Taylor being disappointed. Disappointing. Alvin Kamara was a top 5 running back pick, and he's given you 1
RB2
touchdown.
at best.
Yeah, 1 touchdown and and like 2 games of receiving upside all season. Give me ETN.
Yeah. God, the Saints are so bad. Like, remember when he was, cracking? I mean, I guess he had 100 total yards this past week, but Jesus Christ.
He's over 1,000 scrimmage yards again for the season.
He hasn't been
It's-
as disappointing as Jonathan Taylor. But
Yeah,
he's
but the freaking running, the touchdowns, man. That's what we all drafted him for was the touchdowns.
Yeah, he's got 3
And they're
touchdowns
not
on
there.
the season.
well, that's why you don't draft for touchdowns, first off.
No, you-
Touchdowns are fluky and they're hard to predict.
They're fluky and hard
No,
to
when you
predict.
do it
He's
year
got
after year.
3 on the season, though. He had 9 last year. He had 21
He scored
the year before.
one game this year.
Yep.
3 times in one game. That's it. Fuck you, Dennis Allen. You're
Yep.
not getting your best player more involved.
Freaking
Kamara
Juwan Johnson out
isn't-
there.
Kamara isn't bad, Randy. Kamara is just stuck in a bad scheme and a bad offense
Yeah, and
that
that's
has pissed away
and he's
all their fortunes because of the Drew Brees era.
and he had a good floor game against Atlanta, but he, you have to go back 1 week before that to find disappointment, and then the week before that you were kind of disappointed, and then the week before that it was okay floor, and then the week before that you were disappointed, and the week before that you were disappointed. So it's not that he's bad, but the scheme and the team around him has gotten worse. As it's gotten worse as it goes for running backs, it's just harder to produce.
Randy, I have no clue why Winston isn't starting, but I don't even know if
Mm.
Winston could have saved his team. Again, this is
Man,
this
he
is a
could've,
scheme
but-
problem. He went from Sean Payton in a offense that wanted to feature him to whatever the fuck Dennis Allen runs and whatever the fuck offense they have.
Yeah, he's got fewer targets this year he's got 3 more targets this year than he did last year in 1 more game. I mean, it's just the utilization just isn't there. He's, I don't want to say
They're not using him at the goal
off
line either
base,
because
but
it's Jawan Johnson.
that's exactly it. It's
Taysom Hill.
the touchdowns.
Yeah, Taysom Hill.
The touchdowns is the big drop off for him over the last 3 seasons, and he's gone from 21 to 9 to 3. The scrimmage yardage between this year and last year is about the same. Target volume between this year and last year is about the same. Utilization between this year and last year is about the same. It's a good comparison right now because he's played the same number of games as last year, damn near. But yeah, it's touchdowns are the biggest drop off for him. So I'm on ETN. That's not saying Kamara's a bad player, but the Saints offense is out of sync and not good, and they win ugly when they win.
Yeah. The answer is Kamara. Offense is coming up.
You
He'll
said-
take
you
his.
just said the answer is Kamara. The answer is ETN.
The answer is ETN.
Yes. The other Kamara, the kryptonite of ETN.
So Bam, I asked, does Kamara just die on your roster? You can try to move him this
No.
offseason when if Dennis Allen's a one and done.
I don't know that he'd. Well, what's his
Sean Payton might
contract?
come back. I mean, he
Sean-
was rumored to
Sean-
come back.
Sean Payne's not going back to New Orleans. No way. He'll go to
He
like
might come
Dallas
back
or
to
some
the
shit.
NFL. I don't know.
Yeah.
The Chargers. I like to see him go to the
Oh
Chargers.
God, imagine him with Justin Herbert. Ooh,
Drew
boner alert.
Brees 2.0.
Drew Brees with a far better arm.
Well, Kamara's stuck in New Orleans, and they gave up their first round pick. So yeah, he might die on your roster actually. If they can't find other ways to improve this team, the Saints are in a bad way right now.
There's no problem with selling low. I think for a long time we frowned upon selling low or buying high, and there are times where it can always get lower than what you think it is too. So Kamara could be that guy. Just you want to get out a little earlier. He's getting older too.
Well, we talked about the 17 class starting to age out, which ages us because that's the first year we did this. But
Yeah.
especially the backs are going to start aging out. Excuse me,
Yeah.
aging out here soon. They're getting in the late 20s, and
I can see resurging. He's got a great skill set that can allow him to play a little bit longer. He needs to land on a better scheme fit and just a better and more productive offense.
or New Orleans just needs to figure it out. But the problem is they don't have a lot of leverage to figure it out right now.
And they don't have a coach that wants to maximize the potential of him.
Yeah, they screwed up trading that
He had
pick.
fucking 2 targets last week. I mean,
Well, and his cap hit goes up the next 3 seasons, so you can't
Yeah.
even trade him.
yikes.
Whoops.
Yeah. Yep. Goes from $6 million this year to $16 million next year.
Ugh.
Puke.
What's the dead cap on that?
God, it might be Winston next year because of them having no money.
19 if they cut him.
Oh my god.
Now it's after next season at $9 million in dead cap.
That's still a lot high, especially for what they need on that team. They need a lot.
They need
You might
a
be able to
lot.
move him in the offseason when people forget about this year.
Yeah, let some things happen with the Saints over the offseason, then you might be able to. Your sell window on Kamara's now, though.
Yes.
Or your
No
window's
problems.
not now, but you should be looking for it.
Yeah.
Be hunting for that window. Anyway, Ryan,
Hello.
what do you want Santa to bring you on the NFL slate for Christmas?
Well, you asked for partially the same thing I want because me being a Lions fan, I would like to see the Lions make the playoffs, but also I don't want the Green Bay Packers to win another freaking game now
Me too.
I mean,
because I
we're on
wanted them to win
agreement
yesterday.
there.
I wanted them to win yesterday, so that was that one gift you get to open early. So to me, them beating the Rams was like an early Christmas present because it's like I need the Rams to lose because I want the Lions to have that higher pick just
Yep.
for that reason. But after the game, the comment that Roger said about, he basically kind of talked trash about the Lions in a way. And it's just like, you know what? Screw you. I hate you. I hope you lose every game here on out. I do not like you. So I want them to lose every game. That's my Christmas wish. Them to lose every game, and they just choke. And the Lions just win out and get the 7th seed. And then if we lose in the first round, we still made the playoffs after that'd be 11 years since our last playoff appearance.
Yeah, I can get behind that. Dan?
I want Nathaniel Hackett to get the fuck out of here. Denver, it's got a great collection of players, right? Russell Wilson is not nearly anywhere near as bad as what this season would suggest. Cortland Sutton in the middle of his deal. You get Tim Patrick back, Jerry Jeudy. One more year left on his before he becomes a fifth-year option. To decide to pick that up. You have rising star and Greg Dulcich. You have KJ Hamler to also expand the field, work the deep threat. So get Nathaniel Hackett the fuck up out of here. Let this offense find a way to be productive that can give us all the fantasy points in which we all deserve when we bought into this team this year.
Well, that covers one of my other ones, which was a swift firing of Arthur Smith, Nathaniel Hackett, and Matt Canada.
I mean, I would agree with all those two.
Yeah.
And Cliff Kingsbury.
I
Fuck him.
figured that's what I figured that's what you were going to say, so I wasn't going to steal that one from you. All right, cool. My second wish this year for the Bears to hold on to the number 2 overall draft pick and then move back with Indianapolis, Atlanta, Seattle, or Carolina to recoup draft capital. And then they go wide receiver for Fields and invest the rest in the offensive line and the defense.
Ryan?
I'm looking.
All right. Then I will go. I want the number 2 seed for the Vikings.
Ooh,
I want them to win
I-
out.
Not the 1 seed. Don't aim too high.
1 seed is
Yeah.
pretty much impossible unless you really think that Philly's going to lose out every game, which I don't believe will happen.
Hey, miracles.
Number 2.
Miracles happen.
Yeah, and
Oh,
it doesn't mean that
got
even if they get the 1 seed, even if Philly gets the 1 seed, doesn't mean that they're guaranteed winning both of their games either. Number 2 seed's important for big things, 2 reasons. Obviously, first round in the wild card round, you get a home game, but the second round against potentially San Francisco, which will likely be the 3 seed in this scenario, and they'll land not Dallas, because Dallas right now we all can agree is probably going to be the 5th seed unless something wonky happens the next 3 weeks. Dallas will likely end with.
It'll be the first
5th
wild
seed.
card, yeah.
And they'll play against what we all believe probably still to be Tampa Bay coming out of the South here. But Minnesota getting the 2nd seed.
It's gonna be Carolina.
Oh my God, even better. Minnesota getting the 2nd seed could then guarantee them in quotes because it's off to win the first week a second home game, which could give us a chance at redemption against Philly if they also went out. So give me I really want them to get the 2nd seed. And also please, for the love of God, don't come out flat after your incredible comeback against the Giants, because I'm kind of expecting it. I thought how bad they were against the Eagles after the Saints game and the miracle.
Right.
All right, I got mine.
Go
I
ahead.
want Tom Brady to retire after the season.
Yeah, please.
Please.
I want
I
Aaron
mean-
Rodgers. He can bring them too.
Yeah.
Go with him.
Yeah. It's a BOGO
Take
sale.
Rodgers.
Bring one, get one. Just because, I mean, he showed Sunday night. It's like, why are you still playing? He- it's just, and you look at it, and it's just like, Jesus Christ, man! If you weren't Tom Brady, you would have been benched. But
True.
since you're Tom Brady, you're not going to get benched, and you're going to blame everyone else.
His contract's up.
He's on that wacky. It's like a 4-year deal, but they're all void years.
They are all void years. I see
Yeah,
that.
it's
just
Rodgers is kind of like that too, but it's not as.
Spread the cap hit out for Brady.
Yeah.
So,
Taysom Hill is the other big name that has a very similar deal to it.
so no base salary. It is literally all void years just to spread out the cap hit.
Yep.
Okay, he's probably gone then.
Yes.
Yeah, he's going back to New England.
$35 million in dead cap if he doesn't play.
Good for them. Let that team suck. Let the NFC South just suck because they all do anyways.
Not
yeah.
after 2024. It might be one more year, Brady.
I don't think he's going to come back. I mean, is there a dead cap if they just release him, or is it just flat out dead cap no matter what? Like, there's no like. release
Shouldn't be
before-
anything. I don't know if there's. I don't forget how void years work.
Like
I don't think.
June 1st cut.
I think they're
They
based off
do
of.
a post 6-1 release. They will have dead cap in 2023 of 10 million, 2024 of 24 million, and cap savings of 24 million. So in 2023. So if they do, it would be post 6-1. I don't know how. Retirement, I think they have to eat.
I don't know. We'll learn more. of that.
Oh, they
We can-
automatically void. Hold on.
The auto void.
Yeah. 2023 through 2026 years automatically void. 35.1 million in dead cap. So it's an auto void deal. He is a free agent after this year.
Yeah.
That's how it
That
works.
makes
It's auto
that
void.
makes sense. Yeah. Makes more sense now.
Yeah, because that team's not a Tom Brady away because Tom Brady's done.
Tom Brady is done. Yes. Tom Brady was sold upstream when half the offensive line retired.
Yep.
After playing with
He
Tom
should have just stayed
Brady.
retired.
Yeah.
He should have stayed retired. When he retired first time, that should have been it.
It would have saved his family.
It would have.
Nah, that fan was already in shambles actually before that.
I know.
Can't wait for that 30 for 30.
How AJ Brown or how Antonio Brown destroyed the Brady's.
All right. My last wish is I want more Mike McDaniel. Just in general, I just want more Mike McDaniel. I want more clips of Mike McDaniel. I want more Mike McDaniel personality. I just want more Mike McDaniel. I love the guy. He's great.
Mike McDaniel reminds me of myself, like that 2007 photo of him, that video of him.
Yeah.
I looked at it, I'm like, oh my god, that looks like me in like 2002, with the ear piercings, the hair spiked up. It's like, oh man, is my future in the NFL coaching now?
No.
No.
I mean,
Yeah,
Daniel's
you're-
like your age.
What you?
No,
Is he?
he might be younger than you.
I think he's younger than me.
He's not old. He's not.
Mike McDaniel is
He's older than me. He was born in '83.
My wife's age,
that's old.
39.
Cradle robber.
Her
Me? She's 3 years older than me.
right.
That's what I'm saying. She's a cradle robber.
Oh God.
I think the term is cougar.
Yeah, he's 39.
I mean-
he's also 39. So
Yeah, MILF, you know.
yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
I mean, technically, my wife is younger than me, Dan, and MILF.
Yeah. I mean, that's dope. Yeah.
My wife's older than me.
She has a kid. That means she's a MILF.
My wife has 3 of them, so she must be like a tri-milf.
My wife is 6 years young. I'm robbing cradles.
cute.
My wife is 6 years younger than me.
That's normal. That ain't
Yeah.
nothing.
When it goes the other way around, I mean, my wife's only got me by 11 months, but I still remind her.
Yeah.
She did see the Tigers win the World Series. In '84. Even though she was a baby.
They don't count.
Yikes.
Okay. Beer review.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on. We didn't ask Nick. Nick. Wait, did anybody? Sorry, I gave 3. Did you guys have any other stuff?
No, we're good. This has got on too long.
Devin walks with a limp funchus.
That's Nick's Christmas wish is Devin walks with the limp punches. Yes.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Nick. I mean, that's a
Okay.
little age, bud. I don't think he's still in the league, but it's okay.
Love beer.
Aw, me too, bud. Me too.
Ryan, how's that beer we made you pour into a glass?
Actually, better now that you said that because I actually like. It's still kind of
Science.
yeah, it's still frothy at the top. I was like, wow, it still has head going like all the way down as I drink it.
It's
It's not-
nitro.
It's
So
not flat at
Nitro will
all.
do for you.
But yeah, I mean, Shorts Brewing Nitro Cup of Joe with a nitro stout with coffee and milk sugar. It actually almost tastes like a chocolate milk in a way, with a hint of coffee to it. Because like when you drink it, I taste more of the chocolate, but when as it sits,
I think the white girls call that a mocha.
yeah, Me and those kind of coffees, I have no idea because I just drink my coffee black. So people, I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. What is that?
90% of the time.
Yep.
Okay,
same.
good.
Like I'll
All right,
get
so-
I'll get a fancy drink if we're stopping for coffee someplace, but if I'm at home, I'm just drinking black.
Even when we go to fancy places, like, what kind of coffee do you want? I'm like, black. What size cup? I go, large, grande. I go, if that's a large, sure.
No, it all means large. There's a whole rant on this. Grande is large in one language, venti's large in another language. Tall actually doesn't mean, but in any event, I don't do Starbucks.
I call it big bucks because that shit's fucking rip off.
I call them union busting sons of bitches, and I do scooters and either locally franchised or locally owned. I do Dunkin' too. Dunkin's a chain if I gotta go.
I like my Folgers and Speedway.
Speedway Coffee, Quick Trip,
Yeah.
Casey's.
Oh,
Yeah,
me?
very good idea of pouring it like that. Hard pour. I learned something new tonight.
You did. I'm
Yeah.
very proud of you.
We're here for to educate and chastise a little bit.
Yes. Again, I am drinking Brickstone's Dark Secret. This is their barrel age program. This is a vanilla espresso variant. This is from 2020, so 2 years. Expectations is you're gonna probably have some of the coffee and vanilla that fall off, vanilla before coffee in this instance. And as I first sipped it and was still, fairly cold. You get more of that coffee, and then the vanilla was kind of faint. As it warms up, the vanilla is completely gone for the most part, and then the coffee is really fainted off. Obviously, gonna be more boozy in this sense too. So it's still really good. Obviously, it's not the time they would have liked to have me try it. Obviously, you want to have beers like this within the first 8 months, ideally. You can go 8 months to a year, I think is still fine, but 8 months, I think upwards to about 8 months is when you want to start drinking your adjunct, especially your heavily adjunct stouts or barrel aged stuff. Not give them a chance to fall off. So still very good and still gonna get me good and boost.
Nick, could that beer have used anything else?
I love cherries.
Ooh, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, cherry probably would have been good in that actually.
2 years later, I don't know how much of the cherry would have been there, but yeah, I think.
Probably would have been a good way to go. Good idea, Nick. Good idea, soundboard, Nick.
Thanks, Nick.
Thanks, Nick.
Thanks, Nick.
Are we gonna tell him?
We should bring Nick back.
Are we gonna tell him that we did this, or
I am totally. We're going to be in Minnesota together, so I will totally tell him that he did a great job with the show last night.
Just see if he really listens still. Be like, so you hear that last
He
episode?
does. He does not listen.
he does
so.
not?
No.
I know. I already know the answer to that.
I ruined it, didn't I?
All right, you give your review, and then we have a question.
All right, I had peanut butter s'mores, absence of light. Like Dan said, him and I both weirdly in the same boat are drinking old things that were adjuncted. And a lot of the vanilla, in particular on this one, that would lead to the marshmallow flavor has fallen off. Peanut butter flavor is still there. This is a chocolate milk stout, so it does have some sweetness to it. The chocolate's absolutely there. Peanut butter flavor is still there, although not as refined as it would have been probably a year and a half ago. And like I said, the marshmallow's fallen off. Graham crackers malty, it's there. Overall, it's a good sweet stout still. I'm not disappointed by holding on to it. Definitely a good sweet stout, but I waited too long and the adjuncts fell off of it, and it is what it is. Good base beer though. Okay, what's
All right.
the question?
Antonio wants to know, who should I start?
Okay.
Drake London, Rashad White,
Okay.
Christian Watson,
Okay. Let's just pick
Or-
one.
or J.K. Dobbins. Full PPR.
I don't know. I don't know how you don't play Dobbins.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm all over Dobbins. Even if I don't even care if it's even not PPR. It's just the way he's been playing right now. He's back to like 2020 Dobbins.
Yeah, you got back-to-back games of 120 plus yards. Not a lot going in PPR, but I mean, you don't need PPR when you're going 120 plus and you're basically offense right now. You know, I'll give you 12 floor. Flip side of this on London, Ritter did. London had what, 70 Ritter's 98 yards or something like that.
Yeah, it was really bad.
It was really bad, and Ravens secondary has been shored up here. Pretty decent recently. Christian Watson, as I think we predicted on the show, a little bit of a disappearing, very touchdown dependent, so a little bit of a disappearing act. What were the other options, Dan? Rashad White, who's still splitting with Fournette. Bucks get the Cardinals, so it's a good matchup, but I don't like that quite as much as I like Dobbins.
And then Watson's the other one.
I already talked about Christian Watson.
You already said Watson.
Oh, okay.
So I'm on Dobbins.
And this is pretty simple. This is easily in a tier above the rest in Dobbins. So especially with that offense going, hopefully we get better news about Lamar Jackson and just make the offense just more potent.
Yeah,
This upcoming week.
I think you get more.
that would be
pundit.
fun.
No, you
It
can't.
already kind
No,
of stinks.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty ripe already.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Ryan, you in the same boat, right?
Yes.
Dobbins.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Are we finally there after an hour and a half into the show?
Hour and 20 minutes game previews.
Oh fuck!
Here we go.
These are gonna go real fucking quick. All right, Jacksonville at the Jets. Jacksonville is 1.5-point favorites on the road. 37.5 is the over/under. Take Jacksonville. They're on fire. This team continues to play well. The defense is tough. Jets have a great defense, but this is a good test for Lawrence facing a top 10 defense on the road in essentially a must-win game on a short week. Give me Jacksonville. I believe in Lawrence 100%.
Yep. Jacksonville for sure. Zach Wilson's in streamer tier. Looking at how the matchups on this line for Jaguars, we talked about how Christian Kirk and Zay Jones are alternating. I believe this is a Kirk week with Reader and Sauce playing outside on this one. Should be able to take away Jones pretty easily. He should draw Sauce. So Kirk playing out of the slot. I like that quite a bit. ETN will be fine. A little bit of a tougher matchup, but he's got the workload for the Jets. Michael Carter didn't do a whole lot. Keep an eye on Bam Knight's health. If he goes, you play him against the Jaguars. Should be a relatively good game. Pretty game script neutral. Garrett Wilson was also fine with Zach back in, so you don't need to shy away from that. Just know that the floor on that's probably wide receiver 3, which is still flexy.
Flexi sexy, right?
Flexi sexy.
Can be.
This game makes me nervous to play just because there's supposed to be a monsoon, basically, type of storm coming through.
York? Oh, bomb cyclone.
Huh?
In New York? They're in New York, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they're supposed to get hit with a bomb cyclone, right?
Damn. That just
That's
sounds
snowy shit. Let me look up the weather report for this week.
Because I seen like one of our face-off guys. He's a huge Jets fan. He kept saying monsoon. Like I don't know how
Rain.
this game's gonna play out.
So rain, quite a bit of rain.
So the rain the snow we're supposed to get Friday is the rain they're gonna be getting Thursday. I think as that whole like storm moves up, because I think
16,
I know we're supposed to get
17
6 to 10 inches of snow.
Yeah, 16, 17 mile. Hold on. It will be raining for most of this. 50, 90, 91, 90. So it's going to get more shitty as it goes on. In any event, that's going to make you fade the passing game a little bit. But, I mean, I wasn't hitting the passing game heavy on this one anyway.
Well, this would be like a Christian Kirk game, I feel like, not the Zay Jones.
It is going to be a Christian Kirk game. But, I mean, even if you set expectations, right? Tough defense. I think Kirk and Wilson are both in that wide receiver 3.
I think
Yeah.
Jones is still fine too. He still gets used underneath the same way that Kurt does. Like Kurt just plays out of the slot more. They're both utilized in the same quadrants of the field. Their deep threat more so maybe Marvin Jones, maybe hurts Evan Ingram a little bit because they use him vertically quite a bit. But I think Jay Jones and Carter should be in the same tier.
Well, but with Zay Jones too, you look at the coverage he's going to be drawing. Though I mean, it's more who than anything.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's
It's
not utilization of where they're out in the field. It's who's going to be blanking them, and Sauce and Reed are going to be outside, which means that's where Kirk's going to open up for the middle.
That's a good point. Question to piggyback off this too. Jason wants to know Goff or Lawrence. Would you play?
Probably Goff.
Yeah, I'd go Goff.
I know it could be
given the matchup and given the weather. Go Goff.
I know Lawrence is extremely difficult to say coming off of the back-to-back weeks, but Goff getting Carolina it's not the best matchup in the world, but Goff is showing how good that offense is. He can be fine even through matchups in which the game doesn't reach high scoring. The last thing you also want to see is a less than ideal performance from your quarterback on Thursday night. So
yeah,
I think it's pretty close. I think I'm with you guys on Goff, but if you want to go with the upside, I think Lawrence still has higher upside. If you want to go with Lawrence,
I always say when in
have no
doubt,
issue.
don't play Thursday night.
Yeah. When I say 5, do you want to spend 3 days, looking at that low score?
Yeah,
Thankfully, we have
really-
games Saturday. Thankfully, majority of the games are on Saturday.
Our Saturday is our Sunday now.
Yeah,
this
for
week.
Yeah,
But yeah, I like Travis Etienne. Like I like all the running backs this week just because of this whole game script, the way it's looking, where it could be more heavy run, even tight end wise. Like, so you got Etienne as the highest out of the running backs at 6,100. Bam Knight's 5,400. Michael Carter's 5,000. So even Bam or Carter at 5,000, even a sweet deal if Knight's out. And then Evan Ingram being at 3,900 is really good. You got Tyler Conklin at 2,900 and CJ Uzama at 2,700. Because I don't feel like Zach Wilson would be trying to throw it deep because we saw how that worked out. It doesn't.
hopefully just all check downs at Bam Knight.
Yeah,
Some
right.
Garrett Wilson love.
Yeah.
Maybe some Elijah Moore. Yeah. Let's move out of this Thursday night fiasco.
Yeah, that was fun.
Giants at the Vikings. Vikings 3.5 point favorites at home. 47.5 is the over under. This is one of the perfect matchups for Minnesota. Good defense, yes, but offense that struggles to produce points. Remind you of a game script from last week. I'm still taking Minnesota. I'm hoping this is not the repeat of the Philly game after the Minneapolis Miracle. So I'll take the Vikings at home. 3.5.
This game's chalk. The only thing that's not chalky here is what the Giants do in the passing game. You're not, if you're still in playoff contention, you're not using Giants pass catch. So, Hodgins has been the best over the last couple weeks. It is a good matchup. You're looking for something like that, but overall, this game is just relatively chalk, which just means you're going Barkley and then you're going your normal Viking skill players. As far as Thielen goes, he's right down there in that iffy tier. Everything else you're good with.
My favorite play this week is Daniel Jones, just because of his rushing upside.
Yes.
You
Good
know?
streamer.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if he get you 40 yards, I mean, that's easy 4 points right there. Even though he hasn't been doing as good lately. Let me look at it real quick. I think he's been averaging like 20, 30 yards rushing wise. But still, that's still a couple points here and there that help out. Yeah, he had 35 this last week, 26 the week before, but 71 the week prior to that. The first time against Washington. So the upside's there. It's just, are you willing to swing it for, what was he, $5,600 on DFS? Kirk Cousins, for sure, 6,300. Can't miss that play. I actually like him on that play. Justin Jefferson, 9,300, which I think he is the highest wide receiver on the slate. Yes, he is. He's the highest wide receiver on this slate. Adam Thielen comes in at solid 5,300. KJ Osborne had that touchdown last week, 4,500. Still sprinkle him in a little bit.
He had a career game, and you of course pay up for Justin Fields whenever you can.
Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson and Justin Fields too. Yeah. Same thing.
And TJ Hawkinson.
I'm fine.
9 targets last week.
Yeah, cool. He had 2 catches.
Yeah. Best
That's
trade we ever
Hopper.
made. We've been
That's-
winning ever since that trade.
That's right. You may ever get to play us in the playoffs.
Hope so.
Yeah, me too.
Playoffs.
Playoffs.
Next
All right.
game.
Brandon wants to know. We got questions.
Oh.
Pick
Man,
one.
look at us.
It's almost like Tuesday night, almost works. Garrett Wilson, Mike Williams, Deontay Johnson, or Michael Pittman. Pick one.
Might be Deontay.
I'm going Mike Williams still.
So we can rule out Wilson in the monsoon matchup,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got who's Pittman playing?
Pittman's got the Chargers.
Pittman's got the Chargers. It's a matchup that could, he had 10 targets, Minnesota, even in a blowout, first half. So 10 targets, only 60 yards, though.
Colts 27th in points allowed to the wide receiver position, so that'll drop Williams out. Chargers 25th. This is over the last 5 weeks, by the way. Yeah, just throwing
I'm
those
not
numbers out there.
I think I may go Pittman. If you're gonna go with target upside, which I think would be the only reason why you play Deontay, who doesn't. I don't know if he's gotten much production from his targets.
He
Which I believe is not. I don't know if the
So-
offenses are better. They're probably about the same.
No, the offenses are all about the same, and he hasn't. He has had more insulated target volume, and I think the guys that get insulated target volume in this matchup Deontay has against the Raiders are the guys that normally put up, somewhere in the mid-teens point-wise, right? They're not getting a lot of efficiency, but they will give up a lot of catches. So, Pittman isn't exactly a model of efficiency, and look, I never trust Mike Williams. That's just a thing. So to get me to answer Mike Williams is you really got to be tilted to get me to go that route. I can't take Wilson in a monsoon game. That's why I'm on Deontay. I know that Pickett doesn't target him quite as much as what Mitch was and does, but at the same time, it's a guy whose floor is typically around the 50 to 60-yard mark that's getting targets, that's going to grab, a floor somewhere around 5 balls. So you got a 10-point floor out of him. You're easily going to end up in the teens, I think. It's the same thing you're hoping for with Pittman.
Pulling up.
The Indianapolis offense just makes me nervous. I liked Pittman a lot, like going into the year, and then he started out good, and then he just started producing like borderline wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 numbers. Sometimes even wide receiver 4 numbers.
Yeah.
Where Mike Williams has I like the boom bust potential of him.
Yeah.
And when he booms, he can boom, but you also have to remember when he busts, he really busts. Do you want 30 points or do you want 3 points? With Pittman, it's like, do you want 8 points or do you want 9 points?
And Johnson's already got a shitload of targets on the season too at 123. So there's not a lot of upside to him, but I don't know that there's a lot of upside in that group necessarily at this stage. Normally, I would say Garrett Wilson has it, but Thursday night in a monsoon with not their best option at quarterback.
I don't know. I think they're all relatively in the same tier.
They
Honestly, Deontay and Pittman are your target guys. Mike Williams,
Mike Williams is going to give
Eight.
you more upside.
He had 8 targets.
8 and 6 targets since coming back and playing back with Keenan Allen. Obviously, you're not getting double-digit target upside because Keenan's there, and
No,
Austin
but they
Eckler is
target
also
him.
healthy.
They target him downfield, and that's the difference between him and the other.
I know.
two.
I was working to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I like the call with Mike Williams and upside. I think Pittman's because of the higher target volume and same usage as the downfield threat as well. I honestly think the three of us are probably on all three different players, not obviously counting Garrett Wilson because of the game. I think we would all be on Garrett Wilson if there wasn't a fucking monsoon here. But
Well, and I can come over to. Yeah.
yeah,
I
it's
can-
Don't talk
uh,
yourself into it.
No, I was gonna say I can come over to Williams a little bit too. I mean, you look at what Osborne did working downfield, what Lamb was able to do, what Adams was able to do, and with the upside, I mean, you're in the semifinals, right? You typically don't play for floor in the semis. You're going to be in tightly contested matchups. You play to win, and I think that Williams does give you more upside. So I guess let's put it this way. Here's my answer. We can't set lineups for you, but depending on what strategy you want to go with, I don't know what the rest of your roster looks like, what your opponent's roster looks like, anything like that. If you want to go with the strategy of I'm playing for floor, I'm playing to not have somebody dud me, you go with Deontay. If you want to go with the strategy of I'm playing for upside, I'm playing to get the maximum amount of points, and I will risk dudding for that, you go with Mike Williams. And I think that's how you have to play in the semifinals and the championship rounds.
I mean, Pittman's got 2 less targets than Johnson, a very similar target share rate. So I would personally go Pittman over Johnson. I can get playing Mike Williams over both if you're going for upside.
I get the target volume thing. Johnson's got the better matchup than Pittman. That was the tiebreaker for me.
Yeah. I'll lean in game script for that point. I'm hoping, Chargers offense continues to play well, pushes the Colts to throw more. Pierce studs. Coleman had a couple targets. This is clearly Pittman's receiving court room too. Obviously, quarterback's relatively the same. But again, to put a bow on it, I think we're all in agreement. If you're going to go for upside, go Mike Williams. And then if you want to go for floor, it just
pick your poison.
I guess pick all 3 of your poisons. Mike Williams still has decent floor. He has similar floor with Keenan Allen. Maybe a couple less targets, but the offense is better. So I mean, it's just Mike Williams. I'm going with Mike.
I'll come over to Dan and just go Mike Williams.
Yeah,
Yep.
we're gonna go Mike Williams. We're all
right.
I know. Yeah,
Woo!
You can.
we'll
Let's do it.
land on that. All right.
That's my Christmas gift to you. I let you convince me of something.
Yay.
He laughs.
Saints.
He laughs because it's the first time in 5 years.
Me? No, that was Ryan's pick, and I convinced
Yeah,
you
I started
far
it.
more times than just tonight.
No, I'm going with Dan. Dan gets the credit for that.
And I would still rather play Pittman.
I don't
I'm
like
so
Ryan's
sad.
hat.
I'm still saying Mike Williams. Anyways, Saints at the Browns. Browns are 2.5-point favorites at home. 31.5. This is the lowest game total of the
Ugly.
year. And you're looking at just
Fire it into the sun.
don't play. And it's I don't know how many wide receiver I don't know how many, fancy matchups you really want to play from this game because of a game total that low. I don't know.
Not a lot is the answer there. You don't want to play a lot of the fantasy matchups from this one. London, Godwin, Juwan Jennings, Robinson, good Lord, his one good game of the season. Pickens or who have gotten it done against the Saints. Pickens and DPJ have a lot of similarities in how they're used. DPJ is giving you decent floor with a little bit of upside here as a late. Do you like DPJ and really for the stretch one as a wide receiver 3? It's probably been, at least for me, one of the most reliable waiver pickups that I've had this year. Yeah, flip side of that, it's Olave on the Saints, so you basically get one wide receiver out of each. Amari Cooper, very, very up and down with the low point total. I don't think you can target that. Am I wrong to think that Cooper isn't as safe as DPJ has been?
No.
No.
I see what you're saying with that.
Yeah.
Even with it being a home game.
Yeah. We talked Kamara earlier. He has essentially no upside, but his floors is flexy. So
Hang on, hold on to that thought because Nick Chubb did not practice today with a foot injury.
and Nick Chubb did not practice today with a foot injury, so you're monitoring that. And if he doesn't go, then obviously it's Kareem Hunt. Otherwise, it's Nick Chubb. Not a lot in this game.
Likewise, I like as long as Nick Chubb doesn't play, I like Kareem Hunt at 4,900 because Nick Chubb's 7,700. So the savings there is freaking immaculate. I have almost like 3,000. I don't like this game at all just because the weather's supposed to be also crappy there. It's going to be really windy. So Deshaun Watson, I don't like even at 6,000. Andy Dalton, I don't like at 6,000. I'm kind of a fan of David Njoku at 4,300. But the one I really do like is Juwan Johnson because he's just the kryptonite for Alvin Kamara having touchdowns.
Yeah.
As he has, I think, 7 touchdowns on the season now.
Yeah, he like
Yeah,
him
7
both.
touchdowns.
Yeah.
Including 2 last game. And then he had the goal line against Atlanta, which irritated me being a Kamara owner.
I mean, it's not Johnson, it's Taysom Hill. But
Yeah.
it's hard to chase ancillary pieces in such a low game total. Where
And it sucks, though,
Vegas
too.
believes it's going to be a grindable game.
Yeah, I think it's just gonna be a ground and pound type game where I mean it'd be nice if it was ground and pound, especially for their Kamara owners who are down on him because Kamara is at 6,800, which you're starting to get that like borderline almost value for him compared to what he used to be. Because I think that might actually be the cheapest he might be
Good chance.
that he's ever been. No, he was cheaper weeks 5 and 6. He was 66 and 6,700, and this week he's at 6,800. So he's actually kind of a value play right now. That's how I like to look at him. And then maybe New Orleans defense, because I mean, actually both defenses in this game could be because it could be you never know if you're going to get good Andy or bad Andy. I was hoping last week it was going to be bad Andy, but nope, it was good Andy. So this week it could be bad Andy in Cleveland. You never know. He could throw 4 interceptions like he did against
Has there
the Cardinals.
been, what is good Andy though?
I have no
Relative.
clue. Yeah, it's called Toy Story.
That's exactly what I was thinking. This is called Toy Story.
Brown's defense is always a good call.
Oh, I found it.
Yeah.
Good Andy was week 11 where he went for 260 and 3 touchdowns.
But didn't he have
Okay.
like 4 interceptions or 3 interceptions?
No, that was earlier in the season against Arizona where he went for 4 touchdowns and 3 picks on 3.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
fine.
right.
That's still a very productive game.
Yeah.
3 picks will shave out most times
Especially the pick 6 of
one
the Arizona
touchdown,
DB.
maybe a little more. Yeah. All right. We're moving on. There's way too much talk on this game. Lions at the Panthers. Lions, again, favorites, 2.5 points. And 44.5 is the game total. Look, Lions are hot, right? They were a bit ugly against the Jets, but Jets have a great defense and a good overall team. They were able to bounce back and find a way to win and still cover. I will take the Lions and put the Panthers season out of misery.
All right. On the fantasy side of this, for the Panthers, you're looking DJ Moore. You're probably looking Chuba Hubbard in this one more so than Deontay Foreman because receiving. Although Foreman should bounce back from last week as well. DJ Moore is a real tough one because he's so up and down. But
Yep.
if the matchup's the point total, the defense that they're facing, what the Lions give up, I think that you're okay with it. Flip side of this for the Lions, it continues to be the Amon-Ra St. Brown show as far as the offense is concerned. Beyond that, it's the running backs. I mean, Jamal Williams has persistent touchdown upside, although 2 games of a touchdown. 2 straight games of a touchdown. The problem is he's touchdown dependent because he doesn't get involved in the receiving. So let me look at this from a perspective of the Panthers against running backs in the interest of giving the best advice.
I think they're in the middle of the pack against running backs.
They gave up 2 touchdowns to the Steelers and nothing since Ford Joe Mixon. So kind of a mixed bag for them as far as giving up rushing touchdowns. As far as receiving goes, let's see. Seconds. Sorry. I'm a bad guy. There was a time in our history where we did all of this beforehand instead of on the fly, and it was kind of miserable.
Yeah.
More fun on the fly.
It is more fun on the fly. Panthers not giving up a ton in the receiving game to backs either. About middle of the pack, it looks like. Maybe. No, sorry. Least amount of receiving yards given up to running backs over the last 5 weeks, and second least amount. Nope, sorry. My bad again. But near the most on the season. Over the last 5 weeks, they played the Steelers, who don't really throw to the back. They played Steelers, Broncos, Seattle, Baltimore. So I guess that's a long way of saying I guess it should be a Swift game. Jamal Williams is going to be very touchdown dependent. So lean on this being a little bit more of a Swift game just because of how you can attack Carolina, not because I think they're going to be able to push the pace all that much. And that's about it. Goff's a fine streamer. We've talked about it. And even Sam Darnold, you can consider a streamer. Low-end streamer, but deeper leagues use streamer.
Yeah. Fire up all Lions players this week. I do like Jamal Williams just because I feel like the passing game was going to be on fire. And anytime the Lions are down the goal line, it's Jamal Williams who usually gets the first touchdown there no matter what. So if he doesn't usually get it in, it's kind of like a Craig Reynolds, DeAndre Swift, depending on how the play is going to go. But if it's usually down between the 2 and the 1, it's Jamal Williams. I think he gets back on track this week. If he doesn't punch in 1, I think he punches in 2. And like you said, Swift, I do like Swift still. He's at 5,500. I think this could be his week because, like you said, the Carolina Panthers haven't played anyone with any like receiving ability, especially that compared to like what Swift can do. It's just, what Swift are we going to get? Because Swift he had that game off the injury report where he's really good. And then ever since then, he's kind of been like mediocre at best. We're hoping for.
They haven't. Are you talking about running back wise or receiver wise for the Panthers?
Receiver wise. No, I'm talking receiving wise for Swift.
Right. So you're talking about running backs catching passes, not not the wide receiver position.
Yep.
Yeah, they really haven't.
Like Swift's been like dink and dunk like a couple yards out. It's not like he's been like in route running. He's been on the taking screen passes and stuff.
Really, Saquon Barkley back in week 2 is kind of the last guy that they played that had any type of a receiving upside. Joe Mixon, I guess, in week 9, he went for 55 to 60, depending on your scoring. But that was 4 rushing touchdowns. And receiving. So, I mean, you can catch passes against them. The two that do catch passes caught passes.
My favorite one to catch passes this week is DJ Shark, though. Even though he had 2 targets last week, he had 6. He had 7 the week prior and 6 before that, 5 also the prior to that. So I think he gets it back on track, beating the number 2 there, especially a nice deep one.
He's not getting sauce this week either. Or Reed.
He's not getting J.C. Horn either. That should be more of a.
Yeah.
Would they be on route? Because I think does J.C. Horn should follow?
Let me see. Hold on.
I'm not sure.
I'll pull it up. So Amon-Ra.
I thought J.C. Horn was one that was more that followed.
Well, still shadowing typically means that I don't know that a lot of times, even if you shadow outside receivers, that you move into the nickel back. His cornerback matchup is not listed yet.
It's
okay.
That's a wait. We'll get more of an idea of what people believe will be his generally his matchup for the majority of the game.
Who did they play last week? They played Seattle. Let me look at Lockett because Lockett's almost purely a slot guy.
Lockett had a pretty good game. He didn't do too bad.
I don't think that. Well, I guess it's a different setup too because your best receiver there isn't in the slot, so they would have had him out on Metcalf. Lockett's primary
He had 5 receptions for 60 yards on 9 targets and a touchdown.
Yeah, and that was.
He played
against
J.C. Horn.
CJ
Metcalf is on G.C. Horn.
Yeah, CJ
Primarily.
Henderson was on Lockett. So
Either way,
I don't think Horn's gonna move into the nickel. I really don't. But anyway.
All right.
all right. Bengals at the Patriots. Bengals 3.5-point favorites on the road. 41.5 is the game total. Give me one of the hottest teams in football right now. Cincy on the road, 3.5.
Can I go back to Horn for just a second? Shadow rate is 48%, so he does not shadow always.
Doesn't shadow always. Okay.
Yes. I didn't realize that Player Profiler had shadow rates on cornerbacks. They do.
Oh, on their actual page.
Yeah, if you pull up the cornerbacks, they have shadow rates. He hasn't covered anybody necessarily out of the slot either. If you look at who he's played again, I guess he covered Michael Thomas in week 3, but Landry was playing out of the slot. Thomas was playing outside. They were both healthy. So Sterling Shepard in week 2. Other than that, he's been on outside guys.
Zacchaeus, 60% slot rate. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
No,
No.
he's not going to shadow him. He'll play probably a mixture of 3, right? Williams, a Chark, maybe some St. Brown.
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
J-Mo.
We talked about it. Bengals 3.5 over the Patriots. That's a smash. This should be an easy one. On the road.
No, this will be easy for fantasy too. Patriots have a good defense, but the Bengals offense has been otherworldly. So if you're in the dance, they got you to the dance. You dance to the person that brought you to the dance, right?
Dance.
A lot of that's going to be the Bengals side of the football. For the Patriots, Ramondre Stevenson has a good matchup. He'll play. He's healthy-ish. So roll with it. And Kobe Myers continues to be disappointing. You can stash him on your, not just because he throws interception.
He throws pick sixes now.
Yeah.
And Jacoby Myers is still good value though on DraftKings at 4,800. I mean, he hasn't done much with his stats lately, but
Yeah.
actually, he hasn't had double digits since week 8, and that's when he had 21 points. His highest since then has been 9.2 points on DraftKings. So
He's had
yeah, never mind.
no,
I don't want to play him.
no touchdowns since week 8, and his high's been 62 yards on 3 receptions. It's been 9 points.
Yeah, it's not worth the value because I mean, if you're spending around $5,000 for that, you're looking to get 3 to 4 times out of that.
That passing
Don't
offense
even-
is so bad.
Yeah, don't bother, especially when you get stiff armed by Mac Jones, or Mac Jones gets stiff armed by you.
Into oblivion.
But yeah, like you said, like I'd fire up all Bengals on this one. I don't like Ramondre Stevens though. 7,100, he's too expensive for me on that. But yeah,
Get
Jamar
solid.
Chase,
He's going to get potential lot of catches on the backfield.
Stevenson.
They're playing from behind. He's their go-to pass catcher. I think he's got a decent floor this week. I don't know how much upside. I don't know how much the Patriots are going to score. No, was it no Sam Hubbard? Is it Hubbard?
Yeah, Hubbard's out more than likely.
Yeah, so that's going to reduce the pass rush, give Mac Jones a little bit more time. But receivers suck there, has been talked about a bunch. I definitely see some checkdowns from Mac Jones if he gets through his progressions. Can't find any open guys. Doesn't run.
Could it be
I
100
saw-
Henry week?
I like Stevenson. It's never Hunter Henry week. It hasn't been Hunter Henry week since last year.
Hey, he's touched on a bus like every other tight end.
I know. I
He
know.
steps on the bus.
Yeah.
You know
I'm
what?
still
I
playing Stevenson.
haven't mentioned yet in any game preview? A fucking tight end.
Did you know? You know.
I try.
You do try.
I
I try for
actually,
the people. The people want to know.
you know
The
what?
Patriots are the ninth worst team for the season against tight ends.
Dan, you know this. Brent's league is total home league stuff. I do love the fact that he doesn't require a tight end start, that it's wide receiver, tight end flat.
I have a couple leagues at that.
Yeah.
To be honest, I do.
Yeah.
Actually, the
Dynasty,
Bengals-
no less.
Yep.
Yeah, the Bengals are bottom half of against tight ends, but they're at the top of the bottom half, so it's not like it's.
Are you trying to
Woe
convince
is me.
yourself that Hunter Henry
There's
is
no,
worth the
no,
start?
no,
Because
please.
I'm
We're
sure-
not. No.
Don't.
Moving on.
Actually, hold on. You have had Hunter.
No.
Oh,
You had a Hunter Henry week back in week 12, 63 and a tutty. You had 10 points last week or 2 weeks ago.
Fine. Stream him.
No,
He's
don't.
He's a tight end 6.
Don't. He's
through-
got 46 targets on the season for 400 yards and 2 touchdowns. Don't.
All
he's
right.
yeah, you're right, Dan. He's tight end 6 through 38.
Buffalo at Chicago. The Bills are 8.5-point favorites on the road. 39.5. That feels low. Is someone hurt that we're not sure of?
For who?
For one of these teams,
We're not.
both offenses have been productive.
Sorry, did you say 49ers?
Bills at the Bears.
Bills at the Bears. Is somebody hurt?
39.5 is the game total. In Chicago.
I
Josh
wonder-
Allen, right elbow injury.
I don't know. I don't think so. But
There's been no
Vegas
no
is
mention of a
giving-
missing time at all.
That's just a questionable
maybe
tag I
Vegas
see.
is giving Bears some respect based on.
Khalil Herbert coming back.
Well, no, that would up the point total. They'd have to be given the defenses.
I'm trying to
I'm trying to figure that one out. Maybe it's because they held Philly to 25 points. I don't know.
And Buffalo's kind of, I mean, it's elite as they are as a team. The offense has
Is
been
there anything going
at
on?
times a little up and down.
I wonder if it's weather related.
Maybe it is Chicago, so outside it's cloudy.
It's like
Jesus
Michigan,
Christ.
cloudy.
It's cloudy.
constantly.
I mean, it's going to be a lot of snow this weekend, but I mean, they'll have it cleared up. Like it's not like
It's gonna be
It's-
6 degrees.
There won't be a lot of snow there. It's the west side of the state for Michigan.
Yeah, it's,
So-
They're supposed to get like
it's-
13 to 18 inches.
There's no snow predicted. It's 2 cold weather teams. Like, it's not like either team isn't used to playing in the cold.
so the ball's gonna not
Fly
go out as far.
because
Yeah, I
it's heavy.
guess- 'cause
It's gonna be an ice
yeah.
cube.
I don't know. I have no. I maybe it's because the Bears have a bunch of receivers banged up. I guess.
Let's get Tom Brady's ball pump and see if we can deflate it a little bit.
Either way, I'm taking the over. That's my take.
Just the
And-
over.
Yeah, I don't like the spread's a little. I don't trust the spread enough. Chicago's offense. You're getting Herbert back. I don't know how productive he'll be this week. I don't know how many touches you'll see this week. And against it still gets a very good defense in Buffalo, run defense especially. In Buffalo's offense can look pretty average at times. For as good as they are on paper, they'll go through stretches where it's kind of like, the fuck are you doing? Josh Allen will have 2, 3, 4 drives in a row.
And then lose a fumble.
And a turnover is just a bad decision. It's for as good as he is, he'll have those hiccups. And I'm still taking the over. This point total fields, it should be at least 3 points higher. Both offenses have shown the upside of scoring in bunches. So
Did,
give me-
did you
give me the
know
over? No, I did not know.
that Josh Allen has 12 fumbles on the season, but he's only lost 5 of them?
Okay.
Small hands.
He's got 11
Come on.
interceptions.
Come on, Kirk Cousins.
He doesn't have small
your shit
hands.
together.
Does he have small hands?
I have no clue if he does or not.
Hold on, I'm gonna look it up.
Kirk Cousins always led the season.
We're a couple years removed from hand size season on Josh. Allen.
Oh my god.
10-8. He's 88th percentile.
This podcast is going to end the same time it usually does on a Thursday night.
Okay.
No, it's only 8:00. We still got 3 hours to get.
No, I gotta eat dinner, you fuckers.
That's
I'm just gonna go grab dinner now.
That's why I ate before
I'll
I came
come
on,
back.
knowing that this shit was going to happen.
ate before
I knew it was
came
going to
on,
happen.
too. Anyway,
I've been
Um,
working and then did house shit before we jumped on.
Go grab dinner. I got this.
Okay.
All right, Bills and the Bears. For this game, you're starting both quarterbacks, for sure. Gonna be cold. I think you got a Singletary game coming. I think that with Herbert and Montgomery back, they're both RB2s. The Bears are going to utilize that rushing attack. Cole Kmet's a tight end. Dawson Knox is a tight end I really want to talk about though, because Dawson Knox the last couple weeks has really been coming on strong. Bears are without Eddie Jackson. They did get Brisker back, but Brisker's more of a well, he's the more physical safety of the two. Let's put it that way. But Dawson Knox touchdowns in back-to-back weeks, 7 and 8 targets, 41 and 98 yards respectively. He's trending the right direction. So I actually do like Dawson Knox as a tight end start this week, especially if you're in the streaming tight end game.
Dude, I love Dawson Knox this week.
Yeah. Obviously Diggs. I even think you can probably get away with Gabe Davis against secondary this week. I don't know that the point scoring's it all out, but you can absolutely put up yardage on them as the Eagles just showed with A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. So this is a week that I would target Santa Claus, Gabe Davis, especially since it's Christmas week. Santa Claus is coming to town.
Dang, look at you. Look at you go.
Mhm.
Santa Claus is coming to town. Could you believe Dawson Knox has 15 targets, 10 catches, 139 yards, and 2 touchdowns the last 2 weeks?
Yeah.
So
He's been coming on.
Josh Allen's really been leaning against him. So I mean, hopefully that carries on this week. I like that, especially at his cost of, where'd he go? $4,100 this week. He's actually cheaper than Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet's at $4,400.
Really?
Justin
I would totally go Knox over Kmet.
Right? Even though it's only $300, but $300, I mean, you can spend it easily somewhere else.
I was hoping Dan wouldn't make it back yet, so I just had to jump to the next game without him, and I could pick something arbitrarily.
No, I was going to keep talking about it because we were going to talk about Santa Claus and get Dan all going again.
already
Because
talked
Santa
about
Claus,
I already said
he's-
Santa Claus is coming to town.
$5,000. He's $5,000. You have to play him this week. If Hopper says it's a good time to play him, that's when you play him. When he says it's not a good time to play him, you don't play him.
he hasn't had a blow up game.
Yeah,
It feels like forever.
It's coming this week.
Playoffs. You want to trust a guy who is going to give you a wide receiver?
He is due.
He hasn't had a 1 week. Yeah, sure.
Yep.
No, fuck. Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
Yes.
I'm playing
Santa
up,
Claus is bringing you
playing
guys Cole.
upside. What has Mike
Bringing
Williams?
you guys Cole.
What has Mike Williams done to make the media talk to him this year? Exactly.
No, it's so. Fuck that reporter, man. That. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Fuck her.
Fuck that reporter.
Oh, fuck that reporter.
See,
My
hey,
God.
as she
I
said,
real-
she's just trying to do her job and get the news.
No, real fucking rude. Oh,
By the way,
what
that
did
was
you
really
realize
rude.
that I do half this podcast like Ron Rivera does his press conferences? Turn to the side with my face looking off to wherever profile view, just because of how my monitors sit and where my webcam is and everything. Actually, I'm watching you guys on OBS instead of on Zoom. I don't know why. And there you are. Hey, you guys are all big now and pretty.
Actually, that's one of my next investments is a webcam instead of using my Surface Pro webcam.
Oh yeah, I got a nice Logitech streaming webcam. It's about $100. Not bad though.
That's
Good.
not bad. Yeah.
Good resolution.
Well, once I do my whole new setup, because like the setup I had behind me is this isn't going to be here. It's going to be another part of my basement, which I got to do, which will be between after Christmas break and sometime during the summer.
Mine'll be changing soon, but when I moved into this place, I really set up the background. Okay, fuck it. We got to keep moving.
Okay, sorry.
We can't talk. We can't talk.
Well,
about
Dan- Dan's trying to eat-
No. Houston at Tennessee. Tennessee is 5.5 point favorites at home. 37.5 is the over under. Take the under.
I don't even know what game you just get. Oh, Tennessee at Houston. Got it.
Yeah, next game.
Yeah, next game. Derrick Henry. Yeah, sure, that's fine. Next game.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Derrick Henry. Next game.
Seattle at the Kansas City
There we
Chiefs. Chiefs are 9.5 point favorites. 48.5 is the over under. Take the over.
Game's chalk. Chalk from a fantasy perspective. Actually, what that means is that Jerick McKinnon's been really, really good as of late. Juju Smith-Schuster, good amount of floor as of late. Travis Kelce's Travis Kelce. Tyler Lockett, broken finger. Keep an eye on that.
He's out for the year. I don't think he's coming back.
Yeah, keep an eye on that.
I don't
No,
think
he-
you're getting fantasy production.
No, but Lockett.
Remember
this
Was,
week.
sorry, Lockett was the foot, not the finger.
Yeah, he's done for the year.
He's done for the year, so it's DK
We
Metcalf.
we forgot about that news, guys. By the way, Tyler Lockett's out for the year.
Sorry, Tyler Lockett out for the year with a broken foot. DK Metcalf. Done. Next.
No.
Sorry, Ryan. Go ahead.
Let's see. My other version of Santa Claus, Marcus Valdez-Scantling still?
No.
No. I'm done.
Was that the last?
I'm not
noon-
gonna-
Was that the last?
No,
noon game?
we have one more.
Falcons.
Juju
Ravens.
Smith-Schuster, though.
Oh, Falcons.
Yes.
Yeah, Falcons.
What-
Ravens. Over under on this one is 32.5.
Okay, I'm not talking
No,
anymore.
you're on.
Was I?
You're off.
By
Yeah,
how
I
much?
also like Juju by 5 points.
I like Juju a lot.
Atlanta
Yeah.
at the Ravens. Ravens are 7.5-point favorites at home. 37.5 is the
Were they
game total.
expecting Lamar to play because Tyler Huntley's put up a whole 7 points all the last 2 games.
Yeah. Under. And Baltimore. That's a lot of points. Under Baltimore.
J.K. Dobbins, Tyler Algier. Algier had 139 yards and a touchdown.
Freaking blew up my bench. Didn't
Yep.
matter anyways. I still won.
J.K. Dobbins, Tyler Algier, fade Drake London. Next.
Mark Andrews? Back-to-back games of at least 6 targets? Actually,
Yeah, no, not
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
No, it's what's the productivity been on those targets? So, I benched
He's
Andrews
got-
for Dolchich last week, and it was the right call. He's got 49 yards over the last 2 weeks.
yeah, it's pretty gross.
Yeah, you need Jackson back. You need some resemblance of an upside in this offense.
Yeah, J.K. Dobbins at 5,800 is the play to go.
I bet that point down
And-
total comes down as the week goes on too.
Yeah, it's so
I
hard
don't know.
doing
It
stuff on a
feels okay
Tuesday.
to me. It feels all right.
Doing this on a Tuesday, I always feel like you never know what's going to happen during the week because I've like picked games where it's like game
Fucking
totals on this.
mystery.
Yeah, and then I had to go back in and change them because like all of a sudden the spread changes and something else.
Yeah.
It's
All
like
right.
the Jalen Hurts one, like where it hit, and like everyone asked, what the heck happened? All of a sudden, Jalen Hurts injury comes out.
All right, moving on. Commanders at the 49ers.
Commanders at 49ers.
Over under on this
7.5.
one.
Commanders at
is
49ers.
43.5.
All right, next
No,
game.
You're wrong. You're wrong. Not,
Damn-
Commanders
damn
at the
it.
Niners. 7.5 total. 7.5 favorites for the Niners at home. 39.5 is the game total.
How the
Take the under.
shit is that only 2 points higher than Ravens Falcons?
Because you have two great defenses and two offenses that are slow paced.
Brock Purdy.
Yeah. Take Washington and the points and take the under.
No, don't. You're taking Washington?
7.5. They play teams
Oh,
tough.
take the spread, not the money line.
I'm not betting them to win. You bet the spread.
No,
Yeah,
you-
7.5.
Yeah, don't bet him to win. Okay, got it. Christian McCaffrey, yes. Actually, how's Brandon Ayuk done since Purdy took over with Debo out?
Nothing.
Okay,
Oh, yeah, he's
great. Christian McCaffrey, yes. George Kittle, yes. Terry McLaurin, you're fine. Fade the Washington running backs because they're cutting into each other's shit, and neither one of them's going to be worth a shit.
nailed it.
Nailed it.
Samesies, especially DFS wise. If you guys have any question on costs, hit me up on Twitter at @RyanMiner_FSB
Oh, that's
on that
perfect.
one.
No more DFS for the rest of the show.
All right. Oh,
Eagles
shit.
at
These-
Eagles
these-
at-
Well, no,
Hold on.
if you're gonna
There's
if you're
an-
gonna call chalk, that's what I'm gonna freaking say.
Dude,
It's
there's
just
an
like,
editor's note on this. This is all Saturday.
I know.
You just realized that?
Yeah.
There's
We-
only 3 Sunday shows.
We said that like
Or not
45
There's
minutes
shows
ago.
only 3 Sunday games. Okay.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
it backwards. Red
Saturday,
Zone's on
Sunday,
Saturday.
Sunday is Saturday.
Wow.
Red Zone is
Red Zone's on
actually out-
Saturday?
It's on Saturday, yeah.
Wow. 7 hours of commercial-free football on a Saturday. All right. Eagles at the
On
Cowboys.
Christmas Eve.
Over-under on this one is 49.5.
Nope.
I'm going to get
Eagles.
one right.
I know you will. Eagles at the Cowboys. Cowboys are 4.5-point favorites. This is actually down from 6 the other day. 46 even. It's the game total right now.
Yeah, so if I say something higher than what Dan does, you take the over.
I mean, you're still taking the over. I don't care if the points get lower and lower. That's what you want. Hell, I would wait a couple more days and get more news on Jalen Hurts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is the actual answer. But take the over now because it's still very good at 46.
Yep. I like this one for a Devonta Smith game. I'm almost positive that Diggs is going to end up on A.J. Brown, which I think you're still fine with, but because A.J. Brown's a stud. But Devonta Smith is what I really like in this one. I think Miles Sanders, you're going to get a little more run out of it than you did with the Bears. And pay attention to what they do at quarterback. Dallas Goedert's back. I think Goddard's a little better, actually, if it's Minshew than if you get Hurts, although he should be a start regardless. Cowboys said this. It's been CeeDee Lamb and the two running backs driving the offense, and I don't expect that to change at all. I know Noah Brown had the 2 touchdowns. Don't go chase that.
Yeah, never chase touchdowns. That doesn't get anywhere, right?
Right.
Right. Raiders.
$8,100. Ugh.
Raiders at the Steelers, 42.5.
Yeah, really, I'm getting skipped.
Damn.
Ryan, what are your DFS plays?
Raiders at the Steelers, 38.5.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Ryan, no DFS for Eagles Cowboys then. Raiders at the Steelers.
How do you not have DFS for Eagles Cowboys?
I have Gardner Minshew on there. If
You should.
Jalen Hurts is out, $4,800.
Still play
Maybe-
Gardner Minshew. Fuck it. I'm kidding. Don't do that.
Don't play Gardner
Love
Minshew.
beer?
I'd play Gardner Minshew. You never know.
If first is active, no. Not
Oh
Minshew.
yeah, no, I'm not playing Minshew. But I'd actually even play Miles Sanders because they might lean more on the running game than anything else at 6,200. And then actually, wow, Pollard is 7,000 and Ezekiel is 6,000, so $1,000 spread there.
So they agree with me, though, given those overall prices.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Pollard is your PPR back, and Elliott's your touchdown or bust back. But 6,000, I'm definitely going Elliott the way he's been scoring.
High scoring game, potentially.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb, I feel like what is he being like 6 or 7 targets a game? Like he hasn't had that true like breakout game. Well, okay, he's had a couple of over double digits, but not many lately. He's been stuck in that 6-7 target range, and it kind of sucks. So maybe this would be the week where he actually breaks out and hits 10. So 7,500 on that's not a bad deal. And I still like Dalton Schultz. He's at 4,200. Even though as good as the Eagles have been against tight ends, Schultz is still like someone to actually worry about because, yeah, okay, he had 4 targets last game, but the week prior to that, he also had 10. So you never know what kind of game you're going to get from Dak, and I think he's going to actually show up more in this game than anything else. Plus, last time the Eagles played him, I think
That's Cooper
their
Rush.
other tight ends did pretty good.
All right. Raiders at the Steelers. Steelers 2.5-point favorites at home. 39.5
I was 1 point away.
is the over under. Take the under.
Which one was this? Raiders Steelers? You said 49.5?
39.5. I said 38.5.
Oh, I had it at 42. Take the over. Anyway, Raiders, it's Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams. They've been pretty easy to predict. For the Steelers, we talked Deontay Johnson a lot earlier. I'm not going to go back into that. George Pickens continues to give you solid yardage floors. This is a good matchup for Pickens, though, with the Raiders, with Kenny Pickett coming back. I do like George Pickens if you're on the fence about something along those lines. Even Najee Harris against that Raiders defense.
Trying to see here. Darren Waller. He had a touchdown, but I'm trying to see if it's actually worth trying to start against Pittsburgh because with Watt back now, it seems like that whole team's just kind of like flip-flopped. Hang on.
Oh, you were so close. About 3 down to the next game.
Steelers ranked 21st against the tight end, so they're an okay play, but they also haven't had.
You and tight ends, bud.
I
You just-
like my tight ends.
You love tight ends, dude.
I do.
Almost too much.
Ever since I discovered Travis Kelce before Travis Kelce became Travis Kelce, I've never gone off of it. Mind you, I also found Orange Julius before that. Julius Thomas.
Kittle was my crowning achievement for tight ends.
He was. And because of that, I picked him up everywhere. Reap the benefits. All right.
You are welcome. I don't think I've ever been properly paid back for that, but we'll talk about that after we go off air.
No, we don't. Packers at the Dolphins.
Packers and the
Packers,
Dolphins.
Dolphins.
42.5 is the over-under on
Oh,
this.
my. Ooh. No, Packers at the Dolphins.
47 and a
No, I
half.
was wrong. It's probably
45.
48.
Packers at the Dolphins. 4.5-point favorites. The Dolphins are at home. 48.5.
Yes, I was closest.
Is the game total.
Yeah, you went over though. This isn't the prices right.
No, we are doing the prices
Wait,
right.
this is the prices right.
Dolphins all day.
Yeah. Fuck Green Bay.
Play whoever the fuck you want. No, I'm kidding.
Wow, we got real lazy.
Trent Sherfield, start him.
I said whoever you want. You don't want to play Trent Sherfield. Oh man. Adrian Dillon fastest I'm out of concussion protocol ever. So I don't think that matters. I think it's still Aaron Jones. It's in Miami. This game should be relatively high flying. You're good with all your Dolphins. Mostert, Waddle, Hill. For the Packers, I don't hate Christian Watson in this one. I think Lazard's got some ahead, although they're in dire straits. So you going to trust a Packers receiver? It's Watson because of the touchdown upside. Lazard hasn't really had that. Other than that, it's only Aaron Jones there. The Dolphins are chalk. DFS.
Yeah, they are. Especially Watson almost had that touchdown yesterday. He put it to cut that screen pass that he wasn't supposed to go out there and block for instead.
It's your Rodgers calling him out to him
Yeah.
in the
It's like,
post game.
what a bitch move.
You
It's
would've-
like, dude, fuck you.
If you want to catch touchdowns, you run the right route. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's good. I'll take one Rodgers funny comment a year, and I'll take that one.
Tua Tagovailoa, 6,200. I like him this week a lot.
I like Tua a lot.
Yeah, like the
We don't mention
defen-
quarterbacks enough.
pack. Well, yeah, you kept saying, "Oh, I talk about tight ends." So I'm going quarterback. I'm switching it up now. You never know. I might do DST next.
Broncos at the Rams.
Oh, here we go. DST coming up.
27.5 is the over-under.
Start the
Right.
Broncos D.
Ryan, what's your guess?
36.5.
Broncos at the Rams. Broncos are 2.5-point favorites on the road. 36.5 is the game
Yeah.
total.
You went over.
I nailed it.
No, you didn't. You said 37.5.
He
I
said
said 36.5.
No, you
Are you
didn't.
drunk?
No,
Yes, I
yes,
did.
yes. I
This-
look. I put down a bomber of absence light, and I'm drinking this right now.
right.
Yes, I'm drunk.
All right. If you guys are listening right now, this is when you start taking Hopper's advice seriously because this is what it actually comes through. and
No,
actually
he's
is
not that.
positive.
He's not that drunk.
No, not that
Right.
level of drunk where I had my best accuracy rating
Right?
ever when I don't remember 90% of the show.
Take the under.
I do like that Dan knows my levels of drunk though.
So this is just Chris Buzz night.
That's exactly what it is. This is me buzzed having a good time. I am not gone.
I'm working on getting under your level.
Is it my turn?
It is.
Yeah, it's been your turn for like 37
Jesus,
seconds now.
holy hell, do nothing in this game.
What?
Defenses?
Latavius Murray,
Yeah, okay. Sure.
24 attempts, 130 yards, and a touchdown last week.
Yeah, and it's his only
don't wanna
good
keep
game
playing
this
that?
It's his only good game this year. You win the finals with are you in the semifinals with Latavius Murray starting?
Possibly. Well, you don't know if Russell Wilson's actually coming back or not.
Probably not. So I would say tune in Sunday, but we're not doing a show Sunday or Saturday. So pay attention to that. It could be Latavius Murray. If so, that's the only thing you really want from this game.
Or hit us up on Twitter and we'll help answer your question.
Greg Dulcich.
I do like Dulcich, actually. Dulcich has actually been decent for
He's
tight
a fun
ends.
play.
All right, Bucks. The Cardinals.
40,
Dan's trying to get out of here.
43.5.
We have 2 games left. Ryan, what's your
41 and a
prediction?
half.
He's looking at game totals.
I swear to God, I'm not looking.
No,
There
he's
you are.
cheating.
Bucks at the Cardinals. Bucks are 6.5-point favorites on the road. 41.5 is the game total.
Because Ryan's looking at game totals, I'm keeping it honest. That's, you know how you know? Because I'm wrong. That's how you know
Yeah.
I'm playing by the rules.
Take the under and the Bucks to cover.
Start your Bucks. Arizona's defense is not good. For the Cardinals, it's, I guess, Hopkins, which shouldn't require anything. Yeah, you have a phone. I don't care if it's on your monitor.
It
You
is on my
also-
monitor. That's all I have.
Yeah, I don't
My
care what's
phone's
on your
also-
monitor. You have a
My
phone.
phone's also right there.
Yeah, no, it's locked. Show me your browsing history on both.
Sure.
Ryan, don't show us your browsing history. You want to get flagged for anything.
Did you just?
You won't get.
Where did your mic just go, Dan?
Oh, my mic's off.
See, my phone's been off for at least
That's not your.
56 minutes.
No, that just means
50
I can do that too, right? I've been on my phone, but I can
I
have.
haven't been on my phone.
I can
This is
have
56 minutes.
No, you have notifications
Yes,
from 56 minutes ago. You can open that and relock it, and the notifications don't go away.
All right,
What?
this is the last thing I looked up.
Yeah.
Todd Bowles is the last thing I looked up.
You have-
Oh my God.
All I see is a
Okay.
white screen. Anyway,
You play your Bucks.
Hopkins and Connor. God damn.
You play Hopkins. You play Connor. DFS. Who cares? It's Sunday Night Football.
Jesus Christ. Chargers at the Colts. 39.5. No, it's higher. It's the Chargers. 42.5.
Ryan, what's your prediction?
43.5.
He paused and was looking down.
Chargers at the Colts. Chargers are 3.5-point favorites on the road. 43. No, I'm kidding. 46.5 is the game total. Give me the
See, he
Chargers.
had to do that
minus
so you didn't
3.5.
think he was cheating the last two.
I'll get some
Yeah.
off the scent. This is the last game.
This has been a fun night.
We should
I'm
be
not
an
gonna
odds
lie.
maker. This is what happens.
Actually,
You
did you guys
should
see?
not be.
You guys see my? You guys see how good I did on Tally site this week?
No.
No,
I finished
don't.
top 5 in a lot of stats between
Nice.
like money lines and
Good.
against the spreads.
Awesome. You know what? You know why this is a fun show? Because I chugged a PBR with dinner, and then I came down here and drank a bomber before we even got to the game preview. And now I'm
Took us an
3
hour to
pours
get
of
the
fucking
game
bourbon in.
Do you know what else is a fun show?
Because
all
we're
have fun
near-
with each other.
because
we have
we're-
fucking fun.
We're having fun with each other because we're near the end. So we're starting to not just we're starting to fuck off, and we're near the off season.
And people are probably having fun, like listening to it. They're gonna laugh their ass off.
That's
tomorrow
true.
morning
All
when they're driving on the way
55
to work.
people are gonna love this.
All right, so you're
56
gonna
now.
play. You're gonna play Herbert. You're gonna play Eckler. You're gonna play Keenan Allen. You're gonna play Mike Williams. You're gonna play Gerald Everett because he's a tight end. You're gonna
No,
play
you're not.
Michael Pittman.
No,
you're gonna play Deion Jackson.
No, you're not.
No,
No, I'm
you're not playing Gerald
Everett.
Everett. Fine, you're not
Hell
playing
no.
Gerald Everett.
And I'm probably not playing
Uh,
Deion Jackson because it's gonna be a 3-headed fucking mess.
Yeah,
And that's the show. Thank you, guys.
Hey, we in the
I
show.
think Chargers DST. 2,900 on DFS.
Monday Night Football. Showdown slate.
Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Good luck in week 8.
Nick.
Wow.
Where are you, Nick? It's week 15, bud. Where have you been?
That was week 16. Where the fuck are you?
I'm still living in the past.
Love beer.
Work well.
Welcome to Beerfield. I am your host, Chris Hopper, as always, joined by Dan Thury, Ryan Miner. Fantasy football semifinals, guys. You guys ready to do this? You ready to hit all these game previews? You ready to?
We're only 38 minutes late.
Oh, sweet. Normal start time. All right,
No
cool.
more start time for us.
Let's get into a beer preview. Nah.
Nick, take us out again, please.
Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Good luck in week 8.
Nick, it's not week 8.
Nick is clearly drunk.
Ryan screen photos. It's screen photos. Perfect.
I'm about to spit out bourbon.